The following is a presentation of Major League Baseball Productions. Welcome to This Week in Baseball, where you go beyond the game.
Come on, baby! Oh! Let it begin. I'm ready.
We catch everything.
Diving play! You want This Week in Baseball? Look at the camera right here.
Both on the field and off it.
Oh! Mic'd up, baby. Is it me? It's the greatest thing going.
You can't get any closer to baseball than this. This week, we ask the question, why is it the Cubs haven't won a World Series in almost a century?
I don't have an explanation how a team doesn't win in 100 years.
This Fallout boy loved the Hawk.
I thought he was so cool. I thought everything about Dawson was cool. He was a star. He was a rock star.
We've got stars on the stage and on the field.
Where's my This Week in Baseball crew?
Oh, and he made an amazing catch.
All right, dog, keep swinging it, man.
The Cubs just had their most wins in April ever as they seek to improve on last year's success.
We feel good about our baseball team. Last year, winning the division was a step in the right direction for us.
Lou Piniella and the Cubs have done their job tonight to clinch a good playoff spot.
I think we're a hungrier baseball team. Players feel good about their baseball team and themselves.
Cubs win for the first time in 2008.
We have a good team. We've gotten better. So there's high expectations on this team, especially from ourselves.
Two-time All-Star Derek Lee is the catalyst. And he looks to be back in MVP form.
God!
As Derek Lee goes, we go. So he's kind of got that look in his eyes for a big year and put up some big numbers.
Derek Lee's hotter than a firecracker.
And the man batting right behind Lee can be summed up in three simple words.
Clutch money hitter, Aramis Ramirez.
How about Ramirez? Wow!
And it sure doesn't hurt to have a rock-solid ace like Carlos Zambrano at the top of your rotation.
He's a guy that has stuff that any given day he can go out there and shut a team down.
Swing and a miss.
This is the kind of competitor he is.
You know, he electrifies the crowd.
Kosuke Fukudome joined the team over the winter. And despite having won 2 batting titles in Japan, Chicago didn't really know him.
As soon as it came out this winter that the Cubs were going after Fukudome, it was like, oh, great, they're going after Fukudome. Like, well, who's Fukudome?
But then came opening day.
That ball is gone!
Yes!
Game tied 3-3.
Yes, sir! How about that opening day? He hits a 3-run home run, tie the game. I mean, the fans went nuts.
And now that he's near the top of the league in on-base percentage, the Cubs fans have adopted him as one of their own.
Already one of the most popular Cubs.
He got these fans on his side real quick, which was nice because it could carry his confidence and build him up to be a huge icon in this city.
10 years ago, Kerry Wood galvanized Chicago with an iconic performance of his own.
20 strikeouts!
And after battling through myriad injuries, he's reinvented himself as a closer.
I don't know, if you're the opposition, you know, Kid K's coming out in the 9th inning, you know, you got your work cut out for you, and you're probably going to fail that day.
A very quick 1-2-3-9 for Kerry Wood. Cubs win.
His ability to come in the ball game late and dominate is there. You know, I mean, he's got the overpowering stuff.
Strike.
Yes, sir! That's what Woody had been waiting for.
Ryan Dempster was the closer last year, saving 28 games. But this year, he's moved back to the place where he first began.
I think his love was still there as a starter.
Ryan Dempster, a triumphant return to the starting rotation.
For me personally, I didn't realize how much I loved starting until I got to get a chance to get back in the rotation.
Strike 3 call.
Wow.
Ryan Dempster's in a nice rhythm out there.
I enjoy that every 5th day I'm going to go out there and give my team a chance to win a ball game.
And help give the Cubs a very good chance to end 99 years of frustration. This Week in Baseball is brought to you by Aquafina, the official water of Major League Baseball.
great. So many cute guys here. Do you smell bacon? Oh, yeah. It's a bacon club chalupa. Guys love bacon.
Like, that's really gonna work. Come on.
Hi. Hey. How's it going?
Hi.
What is that you're wearing? It's intoxicating.
Taco Bell's Bacon Club Chalupa is back. Bacon lovers rejoice.
Smells good.
Fox tomorrow. It's an all-new Simpsons movie.
I want you to play Homer Simpson.
Why, because I'm fat?
Lisa's documentary heads to Sundance, but Homer's not happy.
This is an outrage! I would never strangle my son!
Animation Domination grabs you with an all-new Simpsons tomorrow on Fox.
シカゴカブスの福留孝介です。あなたは今 This Week in Baseball を見ています。
Now this could only happen to a guy like me.
It's a very sad moment for the Cubs.
And only happen in a town like this.
Heartbreak all over Chicago.
For almost a century, heartbreak and Cubs baseball has gone hand in hand, leaving their frustrated fans mystified, yet eternally hopeful.
Look, there's a certain inevitability. I mean, if you play forever, you got to win once, don't you?
For the Cubs, it's demoralizing.
You think?
That was a catchable ball.
Possible?
Ground ball hit the dirt right through his leg! I don't have an explanation how a team doesn't win in 100 years. I have an explanation for 1 year.
The Arizona Diamondbacks have come to Wrigley Field and impressively swept the Chicago Cubs.
I do believe that you can put a hex on things. I mean, it's an amazing phenomenon.
The Cubs last won the World Series in 1908, and they haven't returned to the Fall Classic since 1945.
I know everybody talk about the goat with the Cubs.
The Billy Goat curse started in 1945, obviously, when they wouldn't let the owner of the Billy Goat Tavern bring his goat into the ballpark for the World Series.
Everybody talk about the cat that came out in New York.
But who's that crossing in front of their dugout? It's not Lady Luck.
Everybody talk about Bartman catching the ball and all that.
In an ear, down the left field line, reaching into the stands and couldn't get it, and he's living with a fan.
But I just believe some things are just hoodoo. They call it hoodoo. That's in the spirit, and sometimes it just doesn't happen.
It would be poetic if they won it all again in 2008. And since spring, Sweet Lou has kept them focused.
One message that I gave the players, I told them don't put 100 years of futility on your back. You worry about this year's team and this year's team alone.
We don't have to worry about what happened in the past. You know, this is our year. We don't want to be distracted. We just want to go to the playoff and to go to the World Series.
Called strike three. Cubs win.
We've got good talent here. We've got a team that is very capable of winning this division again and giving itself another chance to go to a World Series.
For 99 years, the Cubs and their fans have still found ways to have fun.
My kind of town, Chicago is. The Wrigleyville in Chicago is.
Imagine the joy if this year they can cast that lovable losers tag aside.
The city loves the Cubs and are behind us so much. You just want to do everything in your power to bring them a championship.
My kind of town, Chicago is. My kind of town, Chicago.
No matter if it was 1 year or 1,000 years, I always said winning the World Series in Chicago, like with the Cubs, you're gonna need to bring out the armored guard.
Check out Frank Sinatra's new album at Sinatra.com. And for more on the Cubs, go to twib.mlb.com. You can also read our blogs and write to us at the email address twib@mlb.com. And now, here's Twib Notes. We begin with Carl Crawford, who's awfully fast.
Under stealing home! Crawford stole home!
In fact, Carl now has 6 career multi-triple games.
Ripped to the right field corner. A fair ball, and down the line it goes. Crawford into third, his second triple of the night.
Since 1956, only Willie Mays with 7 and Lance Johnson with 8 have had more multi-triple games than Carl.
See, you missed the memo.
In contrast, Atlanta catcher Brian McCann just got his first career triple.
Brian McCann with the triple, legging it out and diving into third base.
Brian had gone more than 1,200 at-bats and had more than 350 hits before his three-bagger, the fifth and second highest totals in big league history. Former Atlanta catcher Johnny Estrada holds the record in both categories. Next, Brandon Webb, who became the fourth pitcher ever to finish April with a 6-0 record.
The Diamondbacks have got the win, and what a day for Brandon Webb.
Webb joins Randy Johnson, who did it twice, and Dave Smoke Stewart, who wins 6-0 for Oakland.
Boy, that's an impressive inning by Dave Stewart as he strikes out the side.
On the other hand, Barry Zito is now just the third pitcher to finish April 0-6.
This is not the same guy that we saw pitching in Oakland.
Zito joins Mike Morath, and can you believe it? Dave Stewart, who got smoked when he was in Texas. So take your cue from Dave, Barry. A much better April could be on the way. And now, here's Twiba. Carlos Zambrano leads all active pitchers for the most career home runs with 13. Who holds the all-time record for most home runs by a pitcher? Is it Wes Farrell, Warren Spahn, Walter Johnson, or Don Drysdale? The answer after this.
I guess I'll take it from here.
Just don't leak any fluid on me.
The inside of a race car can feel as hot as the Sahara. How does Dale Jr. overcome it? Energy, focus, control. Amp yourself.
I got some breath mints if you want them. I'm just saying.
What's your equation for keeping healthy?
I'm a chin-upping, baseball-playing, gotta-take care of me, one-a-day man.
One-a-day men's, the only complete multivitamin with more selenium for prostate health.
It fits my equation better.
You know, it's not all fun and games when you're a mascot. Every year I find myself where the season always ends meets the bills never stop.
You know that place where you realize even a squirrel can't live off peanuts? Well, maybe you don't, but believe me, I'm there.
Here's a way to score on savings.
Nice.
Switch your car insurance to State Farm. You'll save big, plus get a payment plan that fits your budget. Call, click, or visit and start saving today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You know I wear this everywhere.
MLB on XM, every team, every game.
Ask not what the team can do for you, but what you can do for the team.
Read my lips. Every game.
Derek Jeter wants you to hear every team. Big Papi wants you to hear every game.
Every team, every team.
Every game, every game.
Major League Baseball on XM, every team, every game. The rivalry continues at xmbaseball.com.
I am Big Papi.
I'm Derek Jeter, and I approve this message.
What's your equation for keeping healthy?
I'm a chin-upping, baseball-playing, gotta-take care of me, one-a-day man.
One-a-day men's, the only complete multivitamin with more selenium for prostate health.
It fits my equation better.
Derek Lee powers the Cubs against Albert Pujols and the Cardinals. Today on Fox Saturday Baseball. Check for the game in your area.
Who holds the all-time record for most home runs by a pitcher? It's Wes Farrell, who hit 38 of them from 1927 through 41, including 9 in 1 year alone. Now it's time for Pepsi Presents. Pepsi and Major League Baseball have once again teamed up to present the Clutch Performer of the Month as voted on by the fans. There were plenty of clutch candidates in the month of April, and here are the nominees.
Webb in the pitch.
Got him, that's 10. 10 strikeouts for Brandon Webb.
He was on some kind of roll right now. And another scoreless inning.
Oh, dear.
Curveball.
Cut it out, and I mean it.
And what a day for Brandon Webb. Webb goes to 6-0. He dives. Gets up, long throw, and he takes care of Ellis. Oh, brother. That ball hit deep. That ball is bouncing way back. You can put it on the board. Yes. Light it up. Slam for Grady. Sox lead 7-3. Joe Grady with a curtain call.
The strikeout total continues to mount here from Taiwan Lightning.
Here's the 1-2.
They struck him out.
Wong continues to roll.
Sin-Ming Wong was utterly brilliant.
Wong just sits us down tonight. He just dominated our hitter.
McCloud hits a 3-run homer.
Nate the Great hits a bomb. Well, he continues to stay hot.
Nate McCloud has now driven in 4 runs tonight.
And Nate comes up big once again.
He's broken out in a big way tonight.
Game-tying 2-run home run.
Long drive. Could it be? Could it be? Out of here! Pat Burrell has tied the game.
That was a blast. What a pretty swing from Pat Burrell.
Pitch. Sweet. Oh, it goes deep in. La bola, la bola, la bola. Gone, a home run.
Manny Ramirez is absolutely on fire. To deep left. Pitcher rattling home run.
That's what Ramirez does best, driving and runs.
How about this show that Manny is putting on tonight at Fenway Park?
To vote for your favorite Clutch player for the month of April, go to PepsiClutch.mlb.com. Our XM Radio Call of the Week takes place in Florida, where an ugly catch is a thing of beauty.
2-1 pitch to Percal, hit high in the air down the right field line, bending into foul ground. Over Ugla, does he have room? He goes into the seats, and he caught it, I think. Let's see, we're waiting for the umpire. He got it. What a play by Dan Ugla, sacrificing life and limb.
Fans, now you can decide who wins April's MLB Rookie of the Month award presented by Gillette. Just go to this website starting May 5th and cast your vote. You'll automatically be entered for a chance to go to this year's MLB All-Star Game at Yankee Stadium. And watch for next month's rookie feature on Twitter.
I guess I'll take it from here.
Just don't leak any fluid on me.
The inside of a race car can feel as hot as the Sahara. How does Dale Jr. overcome it? Energy, focus, control. Amp yourself.
I got some breath mints if you want them. I'm just saying.
The world is mine. The world is mine. The world is mine. The world is mine.
Every day is a new chance to show the world how phenomenal you can be. Start today with the confidence you get from Gillette Fusion Power Phenom. Fusion Power soothing micropulses help you reduce friction so you barely feel the blades. Try the world's most comfortable shave, Fusion Power.
That's the best a man can get.
It's down to the final 4 contestants.
David Cook.
It's the best feeling ever.
Saisha Mercado.
This is what I was destined to do.
Jason Castro.
I've waited my whole life for this.
David Archuleta.
I'm living my dream.
And your vote means more than ever.
Don't let your favorite down.
American Idol, Tuesday at 8/7 Central on Fox.
The future is here, right here in this box. Because this box has the power to convert your antenna TV into DTV, digital television. But first, you need to get this box, and you need to do it before February 2009, or all you'll see is, see what you're missing. Make sure your TV is DTV. To learn more, call this number or visit this website.
For all your local DTV needs, contact Entertainment Expressions in Duck Creek Plaza, Bettendorf.
Hi, this is Derek Lee of the Chicago Cubs, and you're watching This Week in Baseball.
And we continue with Baseball Is, presented by Chevy. Baseball is nirvana in a place like Wrigley Field, where Cubs fans fill the stands every day. And some of those fans have earned their celebrity stripes.
I'll take some baseballs. All right. I gotta go warm up.
Like the Wentz of the band Fall Out Boy, whose passion for his music is exceeded only by his love for baseball. More specifically, the Cubs.
My earliest memories of liking baseball, I went to the first night game at Wrigley, and it was pretty crazy.
The first pitch of the official first night game at Wrigley Field.
I think it's great. We need it. Everybody else says that we're the last to get it. It's about time.
You're a fan of what you grow up with and what your dad's into. You know, my dad was into the Cubs.
Like father, like son. And Wentz is a special fan of the man they called the Hawk.
I pretty much wanted to be Andre Dawson.
How far do you hit that one, Andre? Look out wherever you are.
I thought he was so cool. I thought everything about Dawson was cool.
Dawson has hit his second home run of the day.
He was a star, you know, he was like a rock star.
But Dawson was far from the only Cub that beat Meyer.
A great catch by Sandberg.
Rhino just seemed like such like a company guy.
What a play by Ryan Sandberg.
So did Mark Grace.
How about that one, folks? Mark Grace.
They just seemed like guys who love the Cubs.
For Wentz, one of the great pleasures of Cubs baseball is watching it in this 94-year-old cathedral of the game.
Wrigley Field's awesome because people have a good time no matter what. You know, it's more the environment. From everything from the food to the seats themselves, and then you have the bleacher bums, like the guys just on top of the buildings.
And in no other ballpark is the singing of Take Me Out to the Ball Game during the 7th inning stretch. Such an event.
You singing today?
Yeah.
All right.
The 7th inning stretch is like a really big deal. I remember going to games and Harry Carey doing it.
Take me out to the ball.
Since then, I've seen Bill Murray do it. Everyone you know knows that song. It's like in your DNA, I feel like, or something, like you just know it.
Like all Cubs fans, each new season brings Pete hope that the World Series drought on the North Side will finally come to an end. But he's also a realist.
The other thing I noticed about Chicago with the Cubs is there's always a story.
And the fans are in shock at Wrigley.
There is like, this year's our year, you know, next year's our year.
Has next year finally arrived?
I mean, it's the world's greatest story, right? If they did it 100 years later, it'd be awesome.
Our State Farm Big League Blast features Arizona's hot-hitting pitcher Micah Owens in a pinch hit role.
He drills it. Deep right field. Pitch going back. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? We're tied.
He's just done it again. Unbelievable. That man, this team, Micah Owens and the Diamondbacks.
This Week in Baseball, presented by Aquafina, will be right back.
When you're the greatest golfer on earth, what's next? New Gatorade Tiger with 25% more electrolytes. It's in Tiger Woods. Is it in you?
As the official bank of Major League Baseball, Bank of America is proud to present the Players of the Week.
James Shields is the AL Player of the Week. Shields won both of his starts while striking out 12. Lance Berkman earned NL honors. Berkman had 10 hits while leading his league with 4 home runs and 12 RBI.
That's a high drive. That ball is going to get out of here.
Bank of America, Bank of Opportunity.
I'm where Here Comes the Bride meets Here Comes All Her Stuff. Believe me, I'm there.
Wherever you are in life, whatever your needs, your dreams, or the hours you keep, no one understands that place better than State Farm. We help more people save money and protect what matters than anybody else.
You know where? Daddy, can't wait to get my license meets.
Can't believe my baby's driving. Oh, yeah, I'm there.
From car to home to life, like a good neighbor.
State Farm is there.
The war in Europe is over. The unconditional surrender was
This is our country.
Silverado from Chevy. The most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. Built to last. Built to love.
America's Grand Game is on Fox. Red-hot Derek Lee looks to power the Cubs over Albert Pujols and the rival Cardinals. Today on Fox Saturday Baseball. Check for the game in your area.
Time now for the plays of the week, and how about that? with music by Fall Out Boy from their album Live in Phoenix.
Where's my This Week in Baseball crew?
That thing on?
What's up, man? Now you can't wait. You ready for this?
Gonna make you bend and break. Say a prayer to let the good times roll. In peace.
Oh, and he made an amazing catch.
And I want these words to make things right.
All right, dog, keep swinging it, man.
Swung at it, belted. Away back. Way out of here. Out of here.
We don't have to worry. He catch everything, man.
Shot. Gonna get right on this one? Yes.
The first water shot of the year.
Se va, un gran slam de Marquez.
I ain't gonna say nothing.
So let me know when you're gonna talk to me, okay?
Looking forward to the future.
Knocks the mask off Laz Diaz.
What's up, baby? How you doing?
Not just the catchers to get their bell rung.
Here comes Ramirez to the plate. Vera blocks it. What a play!
Makes the catch against the wall.
Church comes over and makes the catch. Wow!
One night stand
Nice stop by Teixeira coming home out at the plate.
Kick save and a beauty. And that's an unbelievable play.
Bobbled around once, bobbled around twice.
Terrible.
Play like it can't wait for round. Here comes the throw from Pundell out of the plate.
Oh, dang.
Butts is trying to go to third, and he is out. What are the Rangers doing? Swing a line right base hit left field. This Turris rounds third, and the Cardinals win it. Brilliant diving stab gets up, fires, got it.
No.
My goodness.
Una más.
Reaches, did he get it? Show me the ball. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
It's one for the highlight reel.
This Week in Baseball has been sponsored by Aquafina, the official water of Major League Baseball, by Bank of America, Gillette, Chevrolet, State Farm, Taco Bell, XM Radio, One a Day, and by Gatorade. Be sure to tune in next week when we're off to Kansas City, where baseball is king and everyone gets the royal treatment. For This Week in Baseball, I'm Buzz Brainerd. So long, everybody.
America's Grand Game is on Fox. Red hot Derek Lee looks to power the Cubs over Albert Pujols and the rival Cardinals. Today on Fox Saturday Baseball. Check for the game in your area.
Coming up on the King of Queens, Doug's Clueless.
What's my boss's name?
Mrs. Sir?
Monday at 5:30 on Fox 18.
2.5 Men presents Manly Rule Number 8. Be nice to your housekeeper.
Hey, Berta. How's it going?
Back off, Zippy. You want pillow talk, you gotta spoon me first.
5 nights a week, it's 2.5 Men.
Weeknights at 6 on Fox 18.
Have a ball with a cool pool from Blue World Pools. Make summer fun again with a cool new pool right in your own backyard. The big 15 by 24 Econoline pool from Blue World Pools, not $3.99, now only $3.49. Yeah, $3.49. And there's more? Yep. Each and every Econoline pool from Blue World includes pump, filter, liner, ladder, and even a free automatic vacuum. A $19.95 value for everything, all for only $3.49. $3.49 completely installed on customers' ready site. Call Blue World Pools today to learn more. Have really big fun in the summer sun with the Classic Pool from Blue World. Low in maintenance but high in style, the upscale Classic Pool is the luxurious way to spend the summer. Entertaining with the family, parties, weekends, even after work. Beat the heat this and every summer from now on with a new pool from Blue World Pools and get ready for big summer fun year after year. Call now.
Want used? We've got used. Lots of used. At Erickson Chevrolet Buick.
Our game, the National League Championship Series, and the World Series. America's grand game is on Fox.
We are Fox Sports.
Welcome to the Chevy pregame show on Fox. Chevy, an American Revolution. Right now on Fox, a record-setting start to the season has put red-hot St. Louis back on the map, and you will never guess who is waiting to cool them off. Yeah, Derek Lee and the Cubs, the longtime rivals, will try to get the best of Albert Pujols in the House of Cards. Speaking of the best, no team in baseball has really stood a chance against the Arizona Diamondbacks so far. Are the Mets and David the right team to slay Eric Burns and the giant momentum roll the D-backs are riding? We've also got a great A showdown at Big A. We bring you two of the best the American League has to offer. Believe it, says Nick Markakis and his Orioles. Of course, Casey Kutchman and his Angels bring their own impressive resume into battle. So do we. It is Fox Saturday Baseball. I am Jeannie Zalasko, along with former big league manager Kevin Kennedy,
Jeannie.
Former big leaguer Eric Karros.
Hi.
Hearing from another manager, Tony La Russa said, we are successful because except for first base and third base, everybody else is fighting for his job.
Yeah, it's Albert Pujols and company. Without Mark Mulder, without Chris Carpenter, the pitching staff of the National League, that's the reason they're getting it done. They're the number one as far as ERA in the National League, 3.37. Walks per 9, really key. Great command, first place in the National League, and pitches per inning, that's only 15.8. And if you average 15 or less, you're doing an outstanding job. 15.8, I would consider perfect for them right now. Guys like Joel Pinero, Reclamation Project, Kyle Loesch pitching today. They didn't sign till the end of spring training. That's how they're getting it done. It's Dave Duncan. He simplifies the mechanics, prepares the game plan for him, and command and strike one, the most important pitch of the game. That's what he preaches.
Well, you know, I can't wait to watch the Angels today. This is a team that is without 18-game winner Kelvin Escobar, 19-game winner John Lackey, and their DH spot has been horrid this year. No production, hitting about 170. How do they do it? Mike Scioscia, he's been the one constant, probably the best manager in the game, and has them atop the American League with a best 18-13 record.
Did a former Dodger just say he can't wait to watch the Angels? All right, huge sports Saturday on Fox. Immediately following baseball, it's NASCAR from Richmond, Virginia. Angels and Orioles can't wait for first pitch. Some of you are headed there right now. Everyone else, we're going to see you after this break, but we do want to remind you to stay in the game with Just for Men hair color. That is Alfonso Soriano trying to keep the Cubs in the game last night. His blast tied the game, but Skip Schumacher, in the 11th inning, took advantage of a Cubs outfield that was playing in. Stay in the game with Just for Men.
You're watching Fox Sports, broadcasting in HD and presented by DirecTV.
Touch here. Can't feel the immediate response as you paddle shift your way through the 6 speeds? That's because there's only one place to experience the race-inspired IS. Your Lexus dealer. Where you can lease the 2008 IS 250 all-wheel drive for $369 a month for 36 months with $3469 due at signing.
Let's go behind the scenes to find out where the comedy of Everybody Loves Raymond really comes from.
Comedy comes from pain and suffering.
Yes, it does. Then we're very funny.
Everybody Loves Raymond.
Weeknights at 10 on Fox 18. Coming up on the King of Queens, Doug's Clueless.
What's my boss's name?
Mrs. Dirk. Monday at 5:30 on Fox 18.
Chabad Lubavitch Quad Cities is proud to present An Evening with Leon Layson, the youngest survivor on Schindler's List, recounts his heart-wrenching story of the Holocaust and life in the factory of Oskar Schindler.
I was frightened all the time, and I was hungry all the time, because you could never know whether you'd walk out on the street and you'd be beaten up, killed.
Space is limited. Reserve your seat today, 7 p.m. May 19th at the iWireless Center. Adults $5 in advance, $7 at the door. Students and seniors free with reservation.
A musical ode to new Roundup Power Max. Roundup Power Max. Consistent power, max performance.
This portion of tonight's news is brought to you in part by Monsanto.
Fox 18 presents two candidates for comedy, Alan Hopper and Charlie Hopper in Dumb-ocracy.
You know the difference between you and me? I don't scream when I pee. I took care of that.
Every weeknight starting at 6, vote with your remote.
No man has ever gotten into a woman's pants chit-chatting about skin cancer.
You can't possibly know that.
Nevertheless.
This May, the primaries ain't over till Jake says so.
Yo, hate the game, don't hate the player.
Fox 18 weeknights. Dumb-ocracy in action.
Welcome back to the Chevy pregame show on Fox. Chevy, an American revolution. What were you doing at the age of 20? Justin Upton has taken the majors by storm, Kevin Kennedy.
Well, this guy's hitting .333, 5 home runs. What I like about him, he's a great athlete. This kid is so good. He could have played in the NFL, could have played in the NBA. I think that much of him, and so do the D-backs. That's why they called him up last year at age 19.
Well, you know who else has made an impact for that Diamondback club? It's been Brandon Lyon, the closer for the Diamondbacks. Now, this is a guy that inherited the job, and in his first 3 opportunities, he blew 2 of them. They're thinking, oh, no, is this the guy? But since then, he has converted 8 of 8. He's held opponents to a 132 average, and the Diamondbacks bullpen has been unhittable. 191 opponents batting average.
Of course, D-backs have been making news all season, right? So let's get to the headlines from this week. On Tuesday, John Smoltz landed on the DL with a sore right shoulder, and on Wednesday, he made some headlines by making it clear that he will be back in the bullpen when he comes off the DL. Smoltz, the only player in Major League history with 200 career wins and 150 career saves. All right, it's really official now. The injury bug is taking a bite out of the Yankees. A-Rod, that strained right quad. Jorge Posada out at least 5-6 weeks. He has a tear in the shoulder. And on Thursday, Phil Hughes lost for at least 2 months. He has a stress fracture in one of his ribs. And Mr. Karros, you've been screaming for weeks that the offense needs to step up to help the pitching. What do we do now?
Well, they're in a little bit of trouble. You look at where they were last year. First in average, first in on-base percentage, first in runs per game. They're nowhere near that. That makes the pitching look a lot worse. And remember, at this time last year, the New York Yankees had 3 of the top 4 hitters in Major League Baseball. This year, 1 in the top 30, and that's Hideki Matsui. They've got to swing the bats.
And they're doing that today, leading right now. Of course, updates we'll be bringing you all afternoon. But let's focus on the pitching problems that you say started in the offseason.
Well, the Yankees put stock that the 2 kids, Ian Kennedy and Phil Hughes, were ready. And they told you that by not trading one of them or both for Johan Santana, who, by the way, is a 2-time Cy Young Award winner and only 29 years old.
There is that.
But, you know, they're clearly not ready because the command's not there. In 45 innings combined, the guys have walked 33 guys. They're 2-0, 3-1 constantly. They're not showing a lot of mound presence right now. One guy only had 150 innings in the minor leagues. That was Kennedy. The other kid only had 277. It used to be you wanted your minor league pitchers to at least have 500 or 600 innings in the minor leagues before you arrive to the big leagues. They're not ready.
All right, kids, so we're putting you up to the task. Are you ready for quick pitch?
I'm ready. Stretch.
All right, Eric, who's going to win the NL Central?
Cubs. Jim Hendry, Lou Piniella, and the Cubs.
All right, Kevin. Billy Wagner publicly ripping his teammate Oliver Perez this week. He questioned the pitcher's effort. How should Willie Randolph handle this situation?
Keep it out of the press, and don't let the press know that you're talking to Billy Wagner also. Call him in your office with nobody around and handle that privately, and don't let it happen again.
Eric, Barry Zito demoted to the pen this week by the Giants. Is Zito done?
Zito's not done, but Zito is going to need time to get his arm back, get that curveball back, and earn that money.
Kevin, how would you use John Smoltz when he comes off the DL? Would you make him a starter or a reliever?
No, out of the bullpen, because by his own admission, he says, listen, I'm not strong enough. I don't have the endurance to go past probably the 5th inning or so. So to me, if he can give you 65 appearances in the second half when he comes back, or even before that, and you win 85, 90% of them, I'll take those wins at the end.
All right, Eric, Chase Utley hitting his Major League leading 12th home run. Will he finish the season with more home runs than Ryan Howard?
He will finish as the MVP, and because he's from UCLA, my alma mater.
Front runner right there. Who's it going to be next week? Chipper Jones? Who do you know?
Who else?
He didn't go to UCLA.
From UCLA. That's where I was headed.
Jared Atkins did.
All right, keeping it SoCal. The Dodgers have won 7 straight. Has Joe Torre figured out how to use this team?
Well, you know what? They've established the lineup a little bit. I think he's figured out that Andrew Jones, when he plays right now, he's their 7-hitter, even though they didn't trade, or sign him for that. And the guys at the top of the order are doing the job. They're trying to fit into the roles right now. And, the kid DeWitt's doing a nice job. So,
well, and remember,
the lineup's a little bit set.
And they're beating up on teams that they should beat up on right now. So they're doing a good job.
All right, in Cleveland, Cliff Lee has won all 5 of his starts. He's pitched 27 straight scoreless innings. Is he the best pitcher in the AL so far this season?
You talk about humble pie going back to the minor leagues after getting hurt last spring with the abdominal problem. And here's a guy that won 18 games a couple of years ago when he came from Montreal on that Bartolo Colon deal with Grady Sizemore. And now he's back in the big leagues throwing strikes. It was a wake-up call. So it could be a wake-up call for Kennedy and Hughes.
I like Ching-Ming Wong for the Yankees.
I think we hit every letter in the alphabet. What is more impressive to you at Giovanni Soto's batting stats so far? The fact he was able to hold on to the ball on this play Thursday when Prince Fielder was bearing down on him at home plate.
Well, and as you look at the way he did it, he just stepped to the side a little bit. He still wore it, but, man, that guy can flat out hit, and he's a big reason why the Cubs are having a great offensive year.
Preseason Rookie of the Year pick. I love the catchers that stay in there.
All right, what would you guys do if a 270-pound vegetarian named Prince Fielder was charging full speed at you?
I'd use all the shin guards. I use double shin guards.
We're going to get out of here because that is it for us. As always, we'll keep you updated with lots of game breaks throughout. Before we go, we do want to take the time to remember and pay tribute to a baseball legend, Buzzi Bavasi, one of the game's greatest front office executives, passed away this week at the age of 92.
It is a beautiful day in downtown St. Louis. A little cold, but it is game 2 of this 3-game set. The Chicago Cubs and the St. Louis Cardinals for you on Fox. I'm Joe Buck. Tim McCarver and Ken Rosenthal are coming right up. A matchup of the first place and second place teams in the NL Central Division. But it's the Cardinals on top, thanks in large part to their very good starting pitching in the early part of the season, taking on the second place Cubs. And Tim, this is, believe it or not, even though it's only early May, a very important series, it feels like, between these two teams.
It's always important when these two teams get together, but this game today and this series seems to be much more meaningful because of the type April both teams had. The Cardinals winning 18 games and the Cubs 17.
Yeah, those were club records for each side. The pitching matchup, it is Ted Lilly and Kyle Loesch. You know that when these two teams get together, you see those faces like Pujols and Lee and Piniella and La Russa. Off we go, Cards and Cubs, next on Fox.
Beautiful, durable colors of nature. Home. Valspar. The beauty goes on.
DirecTV is doing very well in customer satisfaction. What do we do?
I learned this in business school when I read about business school in a book. We can't improve our service, but we can improve the price. We can make it higher.
You know what? That's not a bad idea.
We'll get the people with disposable income, and they can dispose of it to us.
And they don't watch TV. They're workaholics.
They wouldn't know HD if it sat in their lap and called them mama.
Get more TV for your money. Call 1-800-DIRECTV.
Relationships in life are more important than the one between you and your Michelin tires. Rugged, long-lasting Michelin truck tires. Michelin, a better way forward.
I fell asleep beneath the flowers. For a couple of hours. On a beautiful day. Daydream. I dream of you amid the flowers.
During the season, I watched Harris become an all-around team player.
Wright puts his team first, so I put my team first.
At first, Harris wasn't part of a team. Now she's the heart of it.
Wright's an awesome player. He'll even catch the ball with his bare hands.
Major League Baseball supports the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Here, kids learn values like teamwork.
Of course it's about the team, but I did have 5 home runs and 45 base hits.
Major League Baseball and the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Together, we create a positive place for kids.
Hi, everybody. Here's today's starting lineup brought to you by Taco Bell. Try the new chalupa. In left field, leading off is Alfonso Soriano. At short batting second is Ryan Ferriero. At first base, the big man, Derek Lee. In right field, the new import Kosuke Fukudome. In right field, former Quaker Mark DeRosa. At second, batting sixth is Mike Fondo. In seventh is the catcher, Giovanni Soto. In center field, batting eighth is Ray Johnson. And on the hill, left-hander, Ted Lilly. Go Cubs!
I'm turning that into the Baseball Hall of Fame, the broadcaster's wing. That was awesome. That was a workout, but that was awesome. How good was that?
Try the new chalupa.
Oh, wait a minute. Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser, the great American lager. Here we go. First pitch of the day. Soriano takes a strike from Kyle Loesch.
Harry Carey, of course, revered in both cities, Chicago and St. Louis.
Absolutely. Soriano, Terrio, and then Derek Lee. Let's take a look at Kyle Loesch's numbers, and it's been a terrific start, Tim. He's been a big lift for this rotation.
I think you can add to those numbers a $4.5 million one-year contract by the Cardinals. What a bargain.
Signed in mid-March. They had injuries rack this rotation during spring training, and here's the scouting report on the right-hander.
Four-seam fastball, curveball, and changeup, and again, a bargain for the Cardinals.
He didn't get much of it. Soriano into shallow right. Ludwig is there, and the wind really blowing around. This is like a day at Wrigley here in downtown St. Louis, and I don't know if, looking at the flags, you can see it gust. It is blowing pretty good down on the field, so we could have some adventures out in the outfield as Ryan Terrio digs his way in, but not to blow by that point with regard to Kyle Loesch. Because of the injuries, because Matt Clement wasn't ready, because Joel Pinheiro was nicked up during spring training, John Mozeliak, the first-year general manager, went out and signed this guy, Kyle Loesch, who was preparing himself for whatever team ended up signing him. He was ready to go when they signed him in mid-March, and he ended up, because of a rainout, pitching basically the opening day start here at Busch Stadium. And after turning down big money in Philadelphia, he's become a leader in this rotation. 2 out. He and Adam Wainwright, who started last night, a very good 1-2 punch, and they're getting a lot from Looper and others on this pitching staff.
You talked about the contract that Kyle turned down in Philadelphia, a 3-year deal at anywhere from $22 to $24 million, as opposed to, as we said, a 1-year deal for $4.5. So he left $18 to $19 million on the table.
Here is Derek Lee. What a terrific start for the Cubs first baseman, who I would say is one of the most underrated players in baseball, because he can literally do it all. He can hit, he can run, he's an outstanding defensive first baseman, and he is a leader for this team. They're thrilled with the start he's off to. As the count evens 1-1. A very good 3-4-5 combo going for Lou Piniella. That's what he's done in the first 29 games over the last 4 seasons. He's been a fast starter. The problem, and we'll talk about it the next time around probably, for Lou Piniella is what to do with the leadoff spot, which has done nothing in this lineup, whether it's been Soriano or anybody else that Lou Piniella's put in that top spot. 2-1 pitch. 3 balls and a strike from Loesch. We take a look at the game comparison brought to you by Cars.com.
Yeah, the Cubs spinning their wheels a bit. Don't forget how you've done it. They won 9 of 10, and then they have lost 6 of their last 8. As far as the Cardinals are concerned, try to continue to get contribution from everyone on this roster. It is a remarkable job Tony La Russa has done thus far.
3-2 pitch is looped down the right field line. That ball's trouble if it's fair, but it drifts out of play foul. It's still a full count. Well, there's no doubt in my mind, and for people who have seen Tony La Russa, who's now in his 13th season in St. Louis, 31st year as a Major League Baseball manager, that he has never done a better job. And it's early, there's no doubt, but
right.
This was a team that wasn't supposed to do anything, and the guy that's number 3 on the all-time wins list for managers behind Mack and McGraw has had this team believing that they were going to compete since they all showed up in Jupiter, Florida for spring training, and it's translated to a record for wins in April. 18, and a perfect first inning for Loesch. Cubs will take the field behind Ted Lilly into the bottom of the first in St. Louis. No score.
Can you have a beautiful lawn and use less water? Actually, yes, thanks to Scott's Turf Builder Water Smart formula. A lawn fed the Water Smart way grows healthier roots that use water more efficiently. So your lawn needs less, saving you thousands of gallons a year. Smart. Scott's Turf Builder. Feed the lawn. Water Smart.
I guess I'll take it from here.
Just don't leak any fluid on me.
The inside of a race car can feel as hot as the Sahara. How does Dale Jr. overcome it? Energy, focus, control. Amp yourself.
I got some breath mints if you want them. I'm just saying.
All right, firefighters, settle down. How about the budget? And the taxes?
One page or less.
Anyone want better roads?
We do.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Done. A lot of paper to tell us we need clean water. Need clean water, guys? All right, this is the easiest job I've ever had. We're out of here.
Get more done now. Communicate with groups in less than a second with Nextel Direct Connect. Only on the Now Network.
Hi, I'm Kyle McClellan. This is the starting lineup for the St. Louis Cardinals. Leading off, Mr. Walkoff, Skip Schumacher playing left field. We have Brendan Ryan hitting second, playing second. Albert Pujols hitting third, playing first base. Ryan Ludwig will be in the cleanup spot, hit in right field. Troy Gloss hitting fifth, playing third base. Rick Ankiel playing center field, hitting sixth, St. Louis fan favorite. Yadier Molina being number 7 with catching. Kyle Loesch is our big number 8 hitter, and he will be pitching tonight. And Cesar Torres will be batting ninth, playing shortstop.
The celebrated rookie giving you the starting lineup presented by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. He's from the St. Louis area, went to Hazelwood West, Hazelwood, Missouri, which is a suburb. And he is off to a great start. McClellan, and here is Ted Lilly, who is not off to a great start. 1-4 with an ERA of about 6.5. Strike one on Schumacher, who ended the game last night in the 11th with a walk-off 2-run shot. To the right side, Lee went a long way, and Lilly with a nice play for the out. Let's do a little scouting on Ted Lilly.
Ted Lilly is unusual in that he works right-handers inside consistently. Very, very good curveball. You mentioned trying to get back to last year, Joe. Only 1-4 this year, but a 15-game winner in 2006 and 7. That was a terrific play, by the way, by both Derek Lee and Ted Lilly. Lee leading Lilly perfectly to get Schumacher.
I think Lee leading Lilly was a Dylan song. Here's a pitch a little high to the number 2 hitter, Brendan Ryan, and here's that play.
Or was that Lay Lady Lay?
Yeah, it could have been.
Could have been. Good play, and Ted Lilly forced to touch the bag with the wrong foot, which was the left foot.
Here is a strike into Brendan Ryan, who started the season on the disabled list. And since coming back, he's done a nice job overall as a starter. In just 56 games, getting the nod from La Russa, he has been a .299 hitter. As that pitch is up, it's 2-1. Ryan now, Pujols will follow. After the Cubs went in order in their half of the first. Big swing, 2-2. Ted Lilly came up with Montreal in '99. Here's a guy who's got good stuff, and he's been traded 4 times in his career. And signed once as a free agent. How about that change up to get Ryan, and that's 2 up, 2 down for Lilly.
Brendan Ryan way out in front of the changeup from Ted Lilly. Say, if he's around the plate with that pitch, it's going to be a long day for Cardinal hitters.
Here's Pujols. He has reached base in all 30 games for the Cardinals this season. And in his first 7 seasons in the big leagues, he's been a .300 hitter with at least 30 home runs and at least 100 RBIs. Gehrig did that 9 seasons, and Ruth did it 8. Consecutive seasons. Those are the only 2 guys on the list in front of Albert Pujols. And Pujols has done it from the day he stepped into the big leagues through the end of last year.
And the big difference is nobody pitched around Gehrig or Babe Ruth. The reason was Gehrig was hitting behind Ruth, and a ton of good hitters hit behind Gehrig.
They're still really looking for that guy here with the Cardinals, but it's been that way for a while. At least the last year plus, and Pujols, more than at any time in his career, is getting pitched around. It's almost the Bonds treatment here in 2008.
Well, this year he has received balls on 54% of the time. That's by far the most in the major leagues. Of all the pitches thrown, 54% have been balls, to where he has to go after balls like that, balls out of the strike zone.
Instead of his 33rd walk of the year, which he comes in as the Major League Baseball leader, he hammers at ball 4, and now the count's full. He's admitted that he's been frustrated already at different times early in 08. Still full.
Yeah, if you're frustrated in early May, how are you going to feel in late July when it continues and persists?
It's been an interesting sea change, though, with the Cardinals and expectations and what could happen the rest of this season after their 18-win April. That will get out of play. I think most people, first of all, experts said, well, this will be a bad Cardinal team. Even people around this organization thought this will be a down year, and they're getting younger, and they let go of some of the older guys like Edmonds and traded Rolen. But they put together an 18-win April, which was a franchise record. The Cubs won 17, a franchise record. As this one's off the end of the bat, and Lilly could roll it over to first base, that ends the inning. But this is a team that believes it can compete. We'll talk about that as we go through the day. No base runners yet into the second in St. Louis.
Congrats. Got to say you've done your research.
Oh, yeah. We went on cars.com. We compared models side by side, found out the price we should be paying. Feeling pretty good.
You should.
And I didn't have to resort to plan B.
Oh, what's plan B?
In order to get you to agree to my terms quickly, I was going to have you eat these brownies, which I mixed with a horse laxative.
Excuse me. Keep talking.
My husband kind of has a sweet tooth.
This place is great. So many cute guys here. Do you smell bacon? Oh, yeah. It's a bacon club chalupa. Guys love bacon.
Like, that's really gonna work. Come on.
Hi. Hey. How's it going?
Hi.
What is that you're wearing? It's intoxicating.
Taco Bell's Bacon Club Chalupa is back. Bacon lovers rejoice.
Smells good.
It's been an industry leader for generations. Born of a rich performance heritage. Equipped with breakthrough safety features. And wrapped in a classic, timeless look. We believe great cars take a vision not everyone shares. Test drive the uncompromising E-Class today.
Every day is a new chance to show the world how phenomenal you can be. Start today with the confidence you get from Gillette Fusion Power Phenom. Fusion Power soothing micropulses help you reduce friction so you barely feel the blades. Try the world's most comfortable shave, Fusion Power. That's the best a man can get.
Fox Saturday Baseball, sponsored by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. By Cars.com, where confidence comes standard. And by Gillette Fusion Power Phenom. Fusion Power, the world's most comfortable shave. First up is Kosuke Fukudome. He is off to a great start here in the States and with the Chicago Cubs. Got a 4-year, $48 million deal, and he has really changed the thought process with a lot of these Cub hitters. They've been a very patient team, Tim, at the plate, and this guy's about as patient as you'll find.
Well, it's a guy, though, that never walked 100 times in any season in Japan, playing for the Chunichi Dragons, the MVP in 2006. But he is a very selective hitter.
4-time All-Star in Japan. And he hits one up the middle. Ryan to his right. No chance. And there's the first base runner of the day. Leadoff base hit by Fukudome, who adds to his 10th best average in the league at .336.
One thing that's never been brought up is that hitting instructors, when they talk about hitting the ball up the middle, one of the reasons you do that is there's more room up the middle than any other spot on the infield, more than between the second baseman and first baseman or the shortstop and third baseman. It's another good reason to try to find the hole up the middle, and Fukudome did.
So he is on, and Mark DeRosa is at the plate. And he hits a double play ball to third. Gloss, Ryan, 2 out. That was tailor-made and right into the lap of Troy Gloss.
Remember the scouting report? We said a 4-seam fastball by Loesch. He does not throw that 2-seamer, but that appeared to be a ball that he tried to intentionally get for the double play and was successful.
Here's Giovanni Soto. He was a late flip-flop in the order for Lou Piniella. Originally listed when Ryan Dempster did that unbelievable Harry Carey impersonation in our Taco Bell starting lineup as the 7th place hitter. He and Fontenot switched spots. So with 2 out, nobody on, the count's 1-1. I don't know if the Cubs knew how good this guy would be swinging the bat.
They got an idea last year when he drove in 109 runs for AAA Iowa. 26 home runs and hit .353.
Boy, has he really come on, and here at the big league level, he has become a threat in this lineup as he hits a 2-bouncer, now 3 to his Turris. And Kyle Loesch has faced the minimum through 2. Bottom of the second here in the shadow of the arch, and with Ludwig, Gloss, and Keel coming up, no score.
A lot of choices, huh?
Tell me about it.
Because you want a beer that's not too heavy.
Yeah?
But you don't want to compromise on taste, so.
No, I don't.
Just want that perfect balance.
Budweiser. Oh, thanks, man. You know, they ought to pay you.
Just here to help.
So fine that I really want to make you mine.
Welcome to my moment. I'm on a dusty road between King City and Coalinga, and my moment is happening right here. You see, the guys at the paper mill asked for bids right away. It's a good thing I have AT&T. Even though I'm all the way out here, I just popped in my laptop Connect card and bang, my bid was the first one in. Looks like we won the account.
Congratulations on your moment.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Seize your moment with AT&T Exclusively Business and get small business support and discounts.
At Michelin, our tires are rigorously tested. They're laser checked, X-rayed for structural integrity. And finally, no tire leaves the factory without a thorough hand inspection. Michelin, a better way forward.
Oh, can we get some extra napkins?
Can we get some extra napkins?
Steakhouse, please.
The Steakhouse, new from Burger King. Premium Angus beef. It's the burger you can't wait for.
Take me out to the ball game! Take me out with the crowd! Buy me some peanuts and...
Want to lead the singing of Take Me Out to the Ball Game? At the 2008 All-Star Game? Enter your video at MLB.com/BabyRuth for your chance to win.
Fox Saturday Baseball, sponsored by Budweiser. Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser, the great American lager. Partly cloudy skies, and what was potentially a washout last night was a good game. And the rain stayed away, and it looks like it will today as well. Off the end of the bat, out of play, off the stick of Ryan Ludwig. First up in the second with Gloss and Ankiel to follow against Ted Lilly. (19-11) are the Cardinals at the start of the day. 17-12 are the Cubs, the top two teams in the Central. And both were very interested to learn that Giovanni Gallardo, the very talented right-hander, young right-hander for the Brewers, is likely lost for the season with torn ligaments in his knee. That is big news in the Central as Ludwig hooks it foul down the left field line.
Talented young pitcher for the Milwaukee Brewers, hurting his knee in that game on Thursday against the Cubs, a game lost by the Cubs when they had a 2-run lead in the 9th inning. Washed away by the Brewers.
That's an interesting list. We'll go back to it. 0-2 pitch to Ludwig is a strikeout on a ball in the dirt. Soto finishes it off, and that's the second strikeout for Lilly. Tulowitzki tore a tendon in his quad. He's out until at least the All-Star break. Barry Zito's in the bullpen. Manny Corpus is no longer the closer of the NL champion Rockies. And John Smoltz sent a text message to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution saying that when he comes back, despite Bobby Cox's wishes, and it's not controversial, but Cox has said we need Smoltz in the rotation. He says he'll come back as a reliever. And Cox has said, well, if that's the case, then he'll be our closer when his shoulder is healthy.
Only guy in Major League history with 200 wins and 150 saves is John Smoltz. Barry Zito throwing 84-mile-an-hour fastballs. Has no arm strength whatsoever.
1-1 on Gloss with Ankiel next. Gloss has hit only one home run as a Cardinal, but he leads this team in RBIs with 21. His one home run came on Sunday, and it went to straightaway center against the Houston Astros, with the Cardinals winning 2 of 3 against Houston. And Pujols is thinking, I got some protection in the lineup maybe. But Gloss has had a pretty good start here in a new league with a new team and batting in some key spots behind Pujols. That's foul. Long-time American leaguer, and when he is right, we have said it before when we've seen him with the Angels, he has one of the prettiest right-handed swings that you'll see. Typically you think of a pretty swing by a left-hander like a Will Clark or somebody like that. This guy's got a nice stroke when he is locked in. 1-2 pitch off the end of the bat into center. How far will it carry? To the track for Reed Johnson. 2 out. Let's go for a game break. Here's Jeannie Zelasco.
And the White Sox were north of the border. They had a front row seat to the Vernon Wells show. Mr. Wells drove in 3 runs, part of his 3-for-5 day. And guess who ended up with the victory? Yeah, you guessed right. 5-2, the Blue Jays take it.
How about the last 5 games with the Toronto Blue Jays? They lost 1-0 5 days ago to the Red Sox, then lost 2-1, then won 3-0, 2-0, and now 5-2 today.
So they're getting pitching.
Yeah.
Shutdown pitching, but have only the 3 wins in the 5 games to show for it as Ankiel waits for a 1-0 pitch from Lilly.
Toronto Blue Jays have given up 5 runs over the last 5 games and are 3-2.
Ankiel, a .366 hitter against left-handed pitching since the start of last year. He's out in front of that. It's 2-1.
We did a game last week in Philadelphia, and Chris Coast, the catcher for the Phils, certainly a Disney story. And there's only one bigger Disney story in the National League, and that's the guy who's hitting right now.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt.
No. What a story.
2-1 to Ankiel. Fouled back. I mean, this is a guy who's hit second. He's hit cleanup, 5th. He's hitting 6th today. And he's, you know the story by now, that he's a former pitcher, a phenomenal left-handed talent. Lost his ability to throw strikes when he needed to. Went back to the minor leagues and has turned himself not just into a big league hitter, but a very good defensive center fielder. 2-2 pitch. Reaching for it, and Fontenot gets to it. Two pitchers are making it look easy as we go to the third on a cool day in St. Louis. No score. Back after this from your local Fox station.
You're watching Major League Baseball on Fox.
Many people think a car breakdown is going to happen, no matter what.
Most breakdowns can be prevented. The technicians at QC Auto Service Centers are highly trained to advise you and troubleshoot areas that may cause problems down the road. Is your check engine light on? When was the last time you had your hoses and belts checked? Make sure your vehicle is road ready. Drive into the QC Auto Service Center near you. QC Auto Service Centers, keeping you on the road.
Your boy's asleep at the wheel.
Hey guys, who wants some fresh biscuits?
Guys, don't bake. Made from scratch chicken biscuits. We bake them fresh so you don't have to. New at Hardee's.
Announcing one huge deal on Ford F-150. 0 for 60 plus 1,000 bonus cash. Huge payload, huge pulling power, huge savings with 0 for 60 plus 1,000 or 3,500 cash back plus 1,000. Either way, it's one huge deal on America's best-selling trucks. Hurry, visit your local Ford store or localfordstores.com and drive one. Doug has good taste.
I love you, spaghetti.
Carrie speaks her mind.
I'm not a bad person. I'm just very petty.
And then there's Arthur.
How dare you!
They're one big happy family.
Shut up! Shut up!
Ah, yeah, there's the love.
And break.
The King of Queens. Weekdays at 5:30 on Fox 18.
On the next 2.5 Men.
Take away your fancy car and all your women, and what have you got? A better-looking version of you.
On 2.5 Men.
Monday at 6 on Fox 18. Turn on the Fox 18 nightlight with an hour of Raymond. Weeknights at 10 on Fox 18.
Third inning, Kyle Loesch back to the hill, and first up, the number 7 hitter, Mike Fontenot, the second baseman. Then Reed Johnson and Ted Lilly. Here are a couple of players in what is an interesting situation for the Cubs. When they put together that good run, Chicago did not have Alfonso Soriano. He was on the DL with the bad calf. So Lou Piniella had different guys in the leadoff spot and had a nice thing going with Reed Johnson, who the fans have really taken to in Chicago. Ronnie Cedeno, who was absolutely red hot, and then DeRosa playing a lot in left. Awkward swing, and Pujols to his right feeds Loesch, 1 out. Tonight, NASCAR on Fox moves to Richmond, where last year Jimmy Johnson held off Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin to take home the checkered flag. As Chevrolets finished in each of the top 4 spots. What'll happen this year? Tune into Sprint Cup Series racing from the Richmond International Speedway tonight. Basically after baseball at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific in high def right here on Fox. So Soriano, Tim, comes back. And Reed Johnson's looking for playing time. He got into the game late last night, makes the start today. He's at the plate. You've got Cedeno, who's hot and on the bench. And then everybody now in Chicago is picking on Soriano for his play in left field over the last couple of games, and that he's not doing anything in the leadoff spot.
2 missed plays last night. And then he made up for it with a 2-run home run to tie the game. The game lost by the Cubs in the 11th. A missed play in Thursday's game against the Brewers. Out with that bad calf. And without Soriano, the Cubs resemble the Cardinals.
The 1-1. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Kind of a group, you know, whoever gets the nod that day. Tony La Russa put it best the other day when he said, other than our first baseman and third baseman, everybody else is fighting for their lives.
Fear is a motivating factor. And it has been with the Cardinals all year, and it was when the Cubs had Soriano out of there.
Guys were fighting for a chance to play, and it really worked out to the Cubs' advantage. That's Ankiel to his left. 2 out. Let's go back to the misplays, Tim. Here's the one Thursday that led to that blown save by Kerry Wood.
You could see him limping right there. There was no limping in last night's game. In the 6th inning, ball hit by Pujols and overrun by Soriano, and a ball that clearly he should have caught in left field. Both happening in the same inning. Then he hit the 2-run home run to make up for it, but there is concern still with the right calf of Alfonso Soriano.
A, he's not running like he used to. Calf or not, he's not stealing bases like he once did. B, he strikes out a lot. Now, he had a great September last year, and he's a guy who can deliver a lot of thunder in a hurry as Lilly tries to bunt his way on and fouls it. That's strike 2. But you're looking at a guy that was handed an 8-year, $136 million contract. They've got 6 more years at $17 million a year. So Lou Piniella's got to find a place in this lineup for him to hit. And the question is where? If he's not a leadoff hitter, where do you put him?
To me, he's a leadoff hitter. Number one, that's what he's done for the majority of his career. And if you hit him lower past the 5th spot, you lose his speed. He can't run as well.
Talk about speed. That's how we've gone through 2.5. As Loesch has faced the minimum, Lilly grounds out to Gloss at 3rd, bottom of the 3rd. Bottom of the order coming up, no score.
Space is infinite, but it's my job to shrink it. I work for an Air and Space Museum, and I take the largest objects in the universe and bring them down in size. So when my doctor said that my going and going could get worse because my prostate was growing, I said, how can we shrink it? He said, Avodart. Avodart is different because over time, it actually shrinks the prostate, so I go less often. Other medicines, they don't treat the cause because they don't shrink the prostate.
Avodart is for men only. Women should not take or handle Avodart due to risk of a specific birth defect. Tell your doctor if you have liver disease. Rarely sexual side effects, swelling, or tenderness of the breasts can occur. Only your healthcare professional can determine if your symptoms are from an enlarged prostate and not prostate cancer. So have regular exams. Ask your doctor about Avodart today. It's your growing problem. It's our job to shrink it. Avodart.
You knew a lot about this car.
I did my research on cars.com. Plus, now I don't have to use Plan B.
What's Plan B?
I was going to have a witch doctor shrink your head if you didn't give me what I wanted.
Jay, can I take off? I got a tiny head.
Sorry about that. I should get him out of here.
If you want to get rid of your gray hair, try my hair color. It's really easy.
Women's hair color can take 30 minutes. Just for men, take 5 minutes.
No one will notice.
Hers colors every hair. Just for men, targets only gray.
It has ammonia, but it doesn't smell that bad.
Oh, yes, it does. Just for men has no damaging ammonia.
Let's go buy some. It'll only take half an hour.
Yeah, right. The truth is, men need just for men. Stay in the game.
Fox tomorrow. All new animation domination has taken over.
This is an outrage!
Relax, Homer. Everyone's still gonna see your new Simpsons movie.
I want you to play Homer Simpson.
Why, because I'm fat?
Then after King of the Hill, are you ready for Family Guy?
Shoot it again! What? I said shoot it again, but I said it pirate-like.
Followed by American Dad. All new animation domination invades at 7/6 Central tomorrow on Fox.
Bottom 3rd of the order for the Cardinals. Only 1 hit, and that was quickly erased. To the next pitch, a double play hit into by DeRosa. And so we haven't seen much of anything so far as the catcher, Yadier Molina, takes a strike from Ted Lilly. Game 2 of this 3-game set. Tomorrow's game is a night game. Count evens at a ball and a strike. Molina is off to a .276 start. The 1-1 to 3rd. DeRosa backs up a bit. Long throw. Plenty of time. 1 out. Studio Genie.
And go Genie. The Mets have won 14 of the last 15 in Arizona. Off to a good start here. Raul Casanova, the single to center. And here comes Carlos Beltran on the Mets with the early lead. 1-0, bottom two.
That video makes it look like they're playing at night out there.
Yeah, it does.
Look at the last 15 games in Arizona for the Mets.
Roof must be closed in Arizona today.
Yes. It doesn't have to be pitch black. Strike one on Kyle Loesch, who's driven in 3 runs on the year. He's 2 for 12. And yes, the Cardinals bat the pitcher as they have all year in the number 8 spot. Which I think, Tim, when it first was introduced by La Russa, people thought, well, that's Tony being Tony.
Yeah.
He's trying to reinvent the wheel, and I think it makes sense.
The double leadoff men, 9 and 1.
Here's a ground ball to the left of Terrio, who gloves it, throws it, 2 out.
You know, you talked about Soriano. It makes more sense for the Chicago Cubs to have the pitcher hitting 8. With the problems they're having with Soriano, then you could hit Soriano either first or 9th and solve the problem of the critics who say he shouldn't be a leadoff hitter.
Is Ken Rosenthal here with us today?
Yes, he is.
Hey, Ken, what do you think about the pitcher batting 8th?
Joe, it works best when your number 9 hitter can be a guy who gets on base a great deal. The Brewers are doing the same thing. They're doing this with Jason Kendall. He's a high on base guy. Izturis in his career has not been a high on base guy, but so far this season he's been about 340, and that makes it worthwhile.
It makes it worthwhile because La Russa wants Albert Pujols to hit 3rd, so he hits in the 1st inning, and then the next time around, in essence, after the pitcher, he's batting cleanup. A base hit is the first of the day for St. Louis. It belongs to Cesar Izturis, and it brings Schumacher up. And by that I mean, after you get past the 3rd spot in the order the first time, now you get down to the bottom. You clear the pitcher, and then you've got Izturis, Schumacher, and Ryan, 3 position players hitting in front of Albert Pujols. So it's like he's almost hitting 4th every time after the 1st inning.
It is pretty unusual that for over 100 years, for the most part, and traditionally, the pitcher is batted 9th. And here, when finally the pitcher moves into the 8 hole, 2 teams do it for different reasons.
And as you say, with Alfonso Soriano as the leadoff guy for Chicago, it might make sense for the Cubs as a pitch misses to Schumacher, a ball and a strike. Soriano can do, when healthy, a lot of things as a leadoff hitter. He can thump the ball. He can run. Got 4 30-30 seasons of 30 or more steals, 30 or more home runs. Schumacher fouls it down the left side, and we give you a look at the Burger King hot zone for Skip Schumacher, who is off to a great start. And anybody who knows this guy has rooted for him for a while to finally get a legitimate chance to play. He's made the most of it after an 0 for 16 start. Overall, he's hitting .311.
3 game-winning hits in the last 7 games for the Cardinals, including, as Joe said earlier, the 2-run home run in the 11th inning last night.
As Izturis goes, and a grounder is fair and taken by Lee. Steps on the bag. The inning is over. Cards have the first base runner stranded of the day. 4th inning. No score.
On game day, it's all about performance, drive, and commitment. But off the field, I still need to look like a pro. With a size 42 waist, it's hard to find my size in department stores. That's when I found Casual Male XL.
Shop Casual Male XL, now with sizes starting at a 42-inch waist. Call 866-THINK-XL for a free catalog and get $20 off your first order.
My game plan's still the same, but now it's got a lot more style.
Casual Male XL, life's better when it fits.
Hey, Dad, I want a Go phone.
Let me sleep on it.
It has unlimited talk and text.
Let me sleep on it.
And no surprise bill.
I can't take it any longer, son. I'm crazy. You ask about the Go phone every night and day. As long as there's no surprise bills to pay, we're gonna go get you a Go phone today. I love you till the end of time. I swear I love you till the end of time.
Get
unlimited talk to all wireless AT&T customers and add unlimited text. Go phone, only from AT&T.
At Michelin, our tires are rigorously tested. They're laser checked, X-rayed for structural integrity. And finally, no tire leaves the factory without a thorough hand inspection. Michelin, a better way forward.
What's your equation for keeping healthy?
I'm a chin-upping, baseball-playing, gotta-take-care-of-me, one-a-day man.
One-a-day men's, the only complete multivitamin with more selenium for prostate health.
It fits my equation better.
Oh, can we get some extra napkins?
Can we get some extra napkins?
Steakhouse, please?
The Steakhouse, new from Burger King. Premium Angus beef. It's the burger you can't wait for.
Go to the fourth inning of a scoreless game, and for the Cubs, it'll be the top of the order. Soriano, Terrio, and then Derek Lee against Kyle Loesch, who gave up a hit to Fukudome to lead off the second, then got the double play ball. Each starter is on today. A swinging strike to start the fourth. So far, the Cubs from their leadoff spot, whether it's been Soriano or anybody else, started the day with a 188 average out of the leadoff position, which is 30th in the major leagues, and an on-base percentage of .259, which is also 30th. And when you've got Terrio, Lee, Fukudome, and typically Aramis Ramirez behind that leadoff spot, you got a chance to do a lot of good things, and they're missing a piece in this lineup as that one just missed 1 and 2.
Well, if that piece ever gets hot, and that's the guy at the bat at the plate right now, he can carry a club.
Little fly ball into right center, and Ankiel and Ludwig almost collide. 1 out. Fox Saturday Baseball, sponsored by Burger King, who reminds you to have it your way. Buy the new AT&T Your World Delivered. And by Casual Mail XL. Life's better when it fits. It's a good rule of thumb. Life is better when your stuff fits. It's no fun to broadcast games or anything else with shirts that are too tight or pants that are too short. A strike is into Terrio with 1 out, nobody on here in the fourth. Ryan grounded out his first time, and the count evens 1-1. Good spot to hit in front of the guy on deck. You're going to get a lot of fastballs. You're going to get a lot of pitches to hit with a guy like Derek Lee, who started the day 5th in the league with a .356 average next. So Loesch will come right after him. And it rides up and in 3-1.
I'm talking about Soriano and whether he should hit first or not. The only other, in my view, the only other spot for him in the Cub lineup would be 5th. And move Aramis Ramirez into the 6th hole and put Fukudome in the 2nd hole, because that's where Lou Piniella thinks he should hit. That way you still have enough room before you get to the pitcher to where you can utilize Soriano's speed.
3-2 pitch is hit. Might have glanced off the glove of Loesch and into center. Second hit of the day for Chicago. What do you make of all this lineup stuff, Ken Rosenthal?
Lou Piniella, in talking to him the other day, Joe, compared Soriano to Bobby Bonds, Barry's father. He was teammates with Bobby in 1975, and he recalls that Bobby was dropped to 3rd in the order with the Yankees and then really struggled, and he didn't find himself again until he was hitting 1st. The difference between Soriano and Bonds is that Bonds was a high on-base guy, .353 for his career. Soriano is at .325 for his career, and that's why he stands out so much right now in a negative sense with the Cubs. Fukudome and Reed Johnson have brought them a high on-base feel this year. They're leading the league in that department, something that's a big departure for them. And right now, as long as Soriano can run, he can stay in the leadoff spot. But if he can't run, they're going to have to do something.
But let's say this, and we're going to visit with Lou Piniella here in a minute during the break, Ken and Tim. there's no doubt that as you look at this Cubs team, they've got a shot here this year to represent the National League, certainly in my opinion, in the World Series. And if that's the case, then they need Alfonso Soriano. As Terrio was almost picked off, they need Alfonso Soriano to be that threat that he's been either with the Yankees or the Texas Rangers. Agreed, Ken?
Agreed. But there's one other element here. Remember all off season, Joe, the Cubs tried to trade for the Orioles leadoff man Brian Roberts. I would expect that pursuit would resume at some point. And if they ever could get Roberts, who's a switch hitter, one of the game's best leadoff men, then the whole dynamic changes. You could put Soriano in a power spot where he belongs, and this would be perhaps the most explosive offense in the National League.
Baltimore Orioles would have to fall on their collective faces, I would think, Ken, because Baltimore only a game behind Boston right now, tied with Tampa Bay in second place in the American League East.
Derek Lee is in the hole 0-2. Popped up his first time. Molina set up way outside, and that one misses out there. Take a look at the Burger King hot zone for Derek Lee, and when you're hitting 356, there'll be a lot of red.
He's never had a hit this year on a ball down and in.
Never, we just don't know.
No.
It really shouldn't be blue. We just don't know. The 1-2 is down and in. That could have been our shot.
Loesch may have heard about our Burger King hot zone then.
2-2 is the count. With Fukudome on deck. Last night, Aramis Ramirez was hit by an Adam Wainwright pitch, and he left the ball game, not in the lineup. The bruised forearm today, and Terrio back easier this time. Ryan, by the way, has been busy on the bases. He's already stolen 7 and been caught 5 times. Not a very good percentage, but he's been running. Not a lot of teams test Molina, who is one of the best percentage-wise at throwing out potential base stealers in the history of the game.
Well, if you're playing the count, a 2-2 situation is not a good count on which to run, because if this pitch is a ball, you're running anyway. 3-2.
And what a good piece of hitting by Lee. Stuck the bat out, flipped it into right. First and third, 1 out. As the Cubs get back-to-back hits, and let's check in again with Jeannie Zelasco.
And we have the Diamondbacks on the comeback trail as we speak. Bottom 2, Augie Ojeda does the damage right there. The 2-run single scored Connor Jackson and Justin Upton. Ojeda doubling his RBI total. It's now 2-1 D-backs, bottom 2.
And the defensive troubles continue for Carlos Delgado over at first base. Not a very good play there by the veteran first baseman. And here's Fukudome with first and third, 1 out, and a chance for the Cubs to get on the board first.
Carlos Delgado has had defensive problems, offensive problems. When he finally had a good game the other day, he did not take a nod and doff his cap to the crowd at Shea, and he turned after a 2-home run game, cheers into jeers.
Yeah, now he's got a PR problem.
Yeah, right. So defense, offense, and PR this year. Those are 3 bad categories.
Not much left.
No.
But I bet his clothes fit. First and third, 1 out. 0-1 the count on Fukudome. Look where Molina's set up. Molina has been doing that a lot. That pitch, that delayed strike call by Tim McClellan. Never seen a catcher, even Molina, set up inside. He's almost behind the hitter when he sets up on the pitch, as he was on that last one to Fukudome.
There it is right there. You can see Molina off the plate inside. That is a real no ball and 2 strike setup right there. He won't be that pronounced on this pitch, I wouldn't think. No, he is.
0-2 pitch, and Fukudome hits it into the right field corner. That ball is off the base of the wall. 1 run scores. Lee will hold at third, and Fukudome's 2 for 2 and has the first RBI of the day. 1-0 Chicago here in the 4th.
You talk about a guy hitting the mitt. That pitch was exactly where Molina wanted it, right there. Set up inside, breaking ball inside, and Fukudome, who was on the cover of Sports Illustrated this past week and had 4 hits the day after its arrival on the newsstands. Drives in the first run of the ball game.
What jinx?
No jinx.
There's no jinx.
No curse, no jinx. Come on.
Second and third now, 1 out, and the Cubs on the board 1-0 as DeRosa takes ball 1. Lee Jenkins, who's one of the best young writers in the business, did the article. Former writer for the New York Times, and it's a great article. Part of it details the fact that Fukudome wasn't aware that it had been 100 years since the Cubs had won a World Series when he was sitting there at his introductory press conference. That's inside 2-0. And he certainly was not aware of any so-called SI cover jinx.
And it's doubtful that he was aware of the fact that a billy goat was kept out of Wrigley Field in 1945 by a guy named Murphy to create the curse.
And then what was the black cat? Was that 69?
That was 69, yeah.
Running around in front of the Cubs dugout
at Shea Stadium.
You look at the franchise history. They won their 10,000th game on April 23rd. There's a strike, 2-2. And they're sick about hearing of 1908, that bottom line. Giants also with 10,000 wins, and here are the Cubs thinking this might be their year. And it could very well be. They have the makings, certainly, after winning the division last year, but they got swept in the divisional series by Arizona. And that's wide, and the count's full. So you do not believe in the SI cover jinx?
I don't believe in any curses or jinxes. No. No.
3-2 pitch with runners at second and third, and that's a little tight to load him up. I'm sitting next to two-time cover boy of Sports Illustrated, Tim McCarver, who was on the SI cover September 4th of '67. Up to that point, a .303 average, 13 home runs, 62 RBIs. From that moment on, a .242 average, no home runs, 7 RBIs.
That wasn't a jinx. Had nothing to do with it.
And then you see the cover from '68. First 4 games of the series at .353. Here's Giovanni Soto, and he takes a ball. 4 RBIs. Cardinals lead that series 3-1. After being on the cover, he hits .300. No RBIs, and the Cardinals lose the last 3 games of the World Series to the Tigers. And Tim is smiling now as he was back then.
Can't you just be bad without a jinx? Not someone saying it's a jinx. Can't you just not be as good as you were? Sure. Instead of somebody talking about a jinx all the time, or this curse. Aren't we past that as a sensible society?
No.
No, we're not.
I like it. I like it, kind of the mystical element of things.
No.
1 ball, no strikes on Soto. And he takes ball 2, 2-0. What a night for the Cubs, and Soto on Wednesday hit 2 3-run home runs in a 19-5 shellacking of the Milwaukee Brewers. But they lost 2 of 3 in that series. Here's a 2-0 pitch. A strike, 2-1. 3 hits and a walk. A run is home. And Soto's trying to make this a big inning.
That was a generous strike call by Tim McClellan, that 2-0 pitch. Change your whole at bat. Instead of 3-0, it's 2-1.
And on 2-1, a fly ball into center, and Keel stumbles, and it's over his head. Takes 1 hop, goes out of play. It's a ground rule double, and it's 3-0 Chicago here in the 4th inning. Ankiel didn't read it well off the bat. I don't think he catches it anyway, as that ball was pasted into center by Soto.
Well, if you do make this catch, you've got to turn properly initially. But Ankiel stumbles immediately. And the Cardinals got a break, because had this ball not gone over the wall, DeRosa scores easily. He was crawling up the backside of Fukudome.
And so it's 3-0 with a chance for more. Second and third, still only one out, and Fontenot is coming to the plate after Dave Duncan checks in with Kyle Loesch. Loesch, the 29-year-old right-hander, as we talked about, signed that one-year deal. At some point, the irony of it all is the Cardinals may have a surplus of starting pitching. Mulder has made 4 rehab starts, not good in his last time for AAA Memphis, but he felt good. And they still believe Chris Carpenter will come back around the All-Star break. His ball 1 is upstairs to Fontenot. They also have Matt Clement, but he seems to be even a bigger long shot to come back to the rotation as he tries to build up his arm strength. Those are 3 pretty big names trying to get back in the rotation. Fontenot hits it in the air to right. Back is Ludwig at the wall. It is gone. 3-run home run for Fontenot and a 6-0 Chicago lead here in the 4th. Second home run of the year for Fontenot, and that last-minute switch by Lou Piniella in this lineup. Well, people have been waiting for him to take Soriano out of the leadoff spot. He flip-flopped Soto and Fontenot, and they've both chipped in here in the 4th.
Responsible for 5 RBIs in this inning. 2 by Soto, and now 3 by Fontenot on a fastball that was up.
That is the first home run allowed this year by Kyle Loesch, who's been so good in his first year with the Cardinals, but this one floated over the wall in right, and the Cubs lead 6-0 here in the 4th. Seemingly in a blink after ripping through the first 3 innings. 0-1 pitch to Reed Johnson is in for strike 2.
1 base runner in the first 3 innings and 6 in a row on base here in the 3rd. Make that the 4th.
The 0-2. A little looper into shallow right that's going to drop. Another hit. Johnson will hold at first with the 7th straight successful at bat. 3 straight hits, a walk, now 3 more with the home run mixed in, and that'll give Lilly a chance to bunt with Johnson at first, 1 out.
A lot of people call these little flares, and it certainly are, but if you don't have the right approach at the plate, you don't hit it off the bat to the opposite field. Good hitting by Johnson.
Now the Cardinals expect the bunt from Lilly, who's 1 out of 8 swinging the bat this season. And the bunt's foul. Strike 1. And Lilly is the recipient of all of this support. He'll head back to the mound with at least a 6-run lead in the bottom of the inning.
The one thing pitchers love to do is to hit in consecutive innings. They know that something's happened good for their offense. He's
the 9th man to bat here in the 4th, in the 0-1. Is bunted perfectly back to Loesch. The sacrifice is good. Scored 1-3 with Loesch to Pujols at first, and down to second is Reed Johnson, 2 out. Theodore Roosevelt Lilly does his job by getting the bunt down and advancing the runner.
He has walked softly, and the Cubs have had some big sticks in this inning.
Very nice.
Thank you.
NASCAR for you tonight right here on Fox. Just about right after baseball, as Soriano now has an RBI chance, 0 for 2. And hitting 159. Strike 1. Third home run came last night. 2 of his 8 RBIs, and he was on the DL. Reed Johnson at second, 2 out, and a little pop-up, shallow right. Ludwig and Ryan has to go a mile out into shallow right to catch it. Mike Fontenot, the second baseman, goes deep. A 6-run fourth. Cubs on top here in St. Louis.
The Narnia you remember is no more. A new age has begun.
1 year later for them.
What happened here?
1,300 years for Narnia. On May 16th, all that is good.
I am Prince Caspian.
Will face all that is evil.
You were right, Fury.
The Chronicles of Narnia. Prince Caspian. Rated PG. In theaters May 16th.
Hi, welcome to Progressive.com. How can I help you? Well, I haven't shopped for car insurance in a while. And you're worried that you've been paying too much, right? Yeah. So how can I know I'm getting a good deal? We can compare your Progressive Direct rate with other top companies. Wow. Seriously? Yeah. Look at the deal we just got him. That's a new pair of shoes. Yeah, or a big tricked out name tag.
Making sure you get a great deal. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
DirecTV is doing very well in customer satisfaction. What do we do?
I learned this in business school when I read about business school in a book. We can't improve our service, but we can improve the price. We can make it higher.
You know what? That's not a bad idea.
We'll get the people with disposable income, and they can dispose of it to us.
And they don't watch TV. They're workaholics.
They wouldn't know HD if it sat in their lap and called them mama.
Get more TV for your money. Call 1-800-DIRECTV.
Layers make things better, like the tasty layers of Nestle Crunch Crisp. Light crispy wafers, chocolatey goodness, and airy Crispies. Nestle Crunch Crisp, for the kid in you.
Sports are great for a kid's body. Steroids aren't. They can ruin tendons in legs and arms. Steroids can stunt bone growth and increase the chances of liver cancer, heart attack, and stroke. Steroids don't make great athletes. They destroy them. Talk to your kids. Need help? Get help. Visit drugfree.org.
Well, we just finished our exciting interview with Lou Piniella.
You know why it was exciting? Because the Cubs just scored 6 runs. That's why.
That's one reason.
Yeah.
Here's Brendan Ryan, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for St. Louis, down 6-0. The other is that we started the interview a little late, and Lou ran with his last answer right up to the count back in from commercial, but we did it. Here is ball inside, 2-0. Ryan, then Pujols, then Ludwig for the Cardinals to try to jump back in this game. One thing La Russa has been very pleased with is that his team, no matter the score, has not quit. And they have continued to come back at the opposition, win, lose, or draw, and the count's gone to 3-0 on Brendan Ryan. Lilly does not want to follow up a 6-run top of the 4th with a leadoff walk with Pujols coming up, 3-1. Ryan struck out his first time. And he is patient enough to take strike 2, full count. Lilly needs to throw a strike. Ryan wants to hit one, and he jerks it foul. First thing I asked Lou Piniella was if it's okay if I can ask him a question if he's in a bad mood or not. He had a little blow up during the week after that blown save against the Brewers on Thursday, and then last night had to yank his starter in the first inning, another foul. And that starter, Rich Hill, after going 2/3 of an inning, was shipped out back to the minor leagues, and it creates a void. They bring up right-hander Sean Gallagher, and John Lieber will go into the rotation for Chicago as Ryan starts the 4th inning with a base hit for St. Louis. Here is Lou Piniella, who was happy, and I could ask him questions without worrying last break.
I'm in a better mood. We scored 6 runs. What a beautiful inning. But it's always fun to talk to my ex-employers.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed my time with Fox, and but I'll tell you what, I like it when we score 6 runs. You know that.
Yeah, I know, and I know you like the combination, I would imagine, of Ted Lilly and the way he's pitching, huh?
Well, he's been getting a little better every time he's pitched this year, and hopefully in this ball game with this lead, he can go deep into it. Our bullpen's a little tired from last night, but so far, so good.
Hey, let me ask you, we were talking about, so much has been made about Soriano leading off and all that. Taking that aside, you need Soriano, wherever he's hitting, to be Alfonso Soriano and to be that guy to give you quick strikes and home runs and steal some bases.
No question. I mean, you look at our lineup, and we've got Derek at first base that can really swing the bat for some power. We got Ramirez at third base that can do the same. And outside of that, Soriano is the other source of home run power. So we need Soriano to hit. And I happen to like him in the leadoff spot. I know he's been scuffling, but truthfully, that's where he's hit his whole career, and that's where we signed him. So we're going to give him every opportunity.
All right, buddy. We miss you up here, but
Thanks.
Good luck. All right. That's Lou Piniella. Here's a 2-1 pitch to Pujols. 1 on, nobody out, and that's a strike from Lilly. And this should be, Tim, one of the few times that Pujols should be challenged here. Up 6-0 after that leadoff hit. Lilly's got to come right after him.
That's why it's surprising to see Pujols take 2 strikes in this at bat. You rarely see that from Albert Pujols.
Hit one back to the pitcher Lilly his first time up, hitting .360. And that's not close. Full count. On deck is Ludwig, and Ted Lilly could invite the Cardinals right back into this game if he does not have one of those shutdown innings, or if he cannot limit what the Cardinals do here. A leadoff hit by Ryan, and Pujols will be sitting on something to hammer on 3-2. Breaking ball on 3-2, and a tough play by DeRosa. Good play at third, 1 out. That's respect.
5 straight fastballs, and then the curveball on the 3-2 count, and a very, very nice play by a very valuable man to the Cubs, a guy who has started his 4th different position this afternoon. He's played left field, right field, second base, and now third.
Here's Ryan Ludwig. Ludwig, when he's had a chance to play, has done a terrific job for Tony La Russa. A guy who really persevered in the minor leagues, and he's another guy getting a chance to play semi-regularly and getting a lot more at bats here in 08 than he's ever had in the big leagues. He's on that type pace. Ball 1 from Lilly with Gloss on deck. On the inside corner, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Joe, you can thumb through the baseball encyclopedia, page after page after page, thousands of pages, and find very few left-handed throwers and right-handed hitters. Ricky Henderson, the most prominent in the history of the game, but not many have been good players. Cleon Jones comes to mind with the New York Mets.
And that's what Ludwig is. Left-handed thrower, right-handed batter, and in the hole here, 1-2. And Lilly gives a look back at Brendan Ryan, who's at second with 1 out. Ludwig struck out his first time, and Lilly took too long. On 1-2, Ludwig went after that high fastball. Still 1-2. And that sends Giovanni Soto out to the mound to talk to Ted Lilly. Cubs have lost 6 of their last 8. The Cardinals have won 6 of their last 8. Cardinals 13-6 here at home so far this season. 1-2 pitch is hit into the gap. That'll put St. Louis on the board as it goes to the wall. Brendan Ryan scores. He and Ludwig switch places. It's 6-1.
A solid at bat by Ryan Ludwig. Remember the fastball, the next to the last pitch. He had a good swing at that. And this is the foul ball before the base hit, right on that pitch. So he's right on the fastball and now right on the curveball, right around the ankles. That is a good piece of hitting by a guy who's gotten Tony La Russa's attention in the early going.
Here's Gloss now. There's Hal McRae, who's the hitting coach in his 4th year for La Russa, instructing these hitters, and a strike is in at the knees to Troy Gloss, who's 0 for 1, but leads this team with 21 RBIs. The home runs haven't come, but the doubles have. The 0-1. That is hammered down into the corner, but foul. Strike 2. Ludwig, Ken Rosenthal, has been a nice surprise for St. Louis, hasn't he?
Great story of perseverance, Joe. He spent most of his first 8 professional seasons in the minors due to injuries. His most frustrating year was 2005. He was coming off his 2nd knee surgery, yet he made the Indians opening day roster, struggled early, got sent down. The Indians had to make room for Juan Gonzalez. At that point, Ludwig said he was mentally done, and believe it or not, from there it only got worse. He struggled at AAA and then had his wrist broken by a pitch later in the season. He said that was the low point of the lows, but it got better from there. 2006, he goes to AAA with Detroit, has a big season, then signs with the Cardinals, minor league deal last year, and here he is.
And Ken, the funny part of all that is who was in spring training this year with the Cardinals? Juan Gonzalez, who actually got off to a good start, pulled a muscle, and he has kind of disappeared off the radar. But Ludwig, at that point, had a more solid footing on a spot on Tony La Russa's 25-man roster. Gloss has taken some good swings here against Lilly, but he's set up at 0-2, and now he strikes out. Strikeout number 3 for Lilly. 2 out here in the 4th inning with Ankiel coming up.
Good pitch by Lilly, and an 0-2 count. You can afford to go way away. He goes off the plate about 6 inches to get Gloss.
Now Ankiel, who grounded out his first time. As I mentioned earlier, he's a .366 hitter against left-handed pitching since the start of last year. Ball 1. He's reached in 10 of his last 15 plate appearances after going through a drought and not getting a lot of hits. 5 home runs for the former pitcher. Ball 2. Ankiel's been important to the Cardinals this year, hitting .365 when they win, .171 when they lose. So when he makes something happen in the order, this team goes. And a little flare into shallow center field might drop. Out is Terry. A great play to end the inning. He had the only shot at it, and over the shoulder. Hauls it in. Cardinals get a run. Trail by 5 after 4.
Going over and over? It's not just you. Stopping and starting? Going urgently? You're not alone. Lots of guys experience male urinary symptoms due to BPH, also known as an enlarged prostate. But for many guys, prescription Flomax reduces their urinary symptoms due to BPH in 1 week. Only your doctor can tell if you have BPH, not a more serious condition like prostate cancer. Avoid driving or hazardous tasks for 12 hours after your first dose or increase in dose, as a sudden drop in blood pressure may occur, rarely resulting in fainting. If considering cataract surgery, tell your eye surgeon you've taken Flomax. Common side effects are runny nose, dizziness, and decrease in semen. Millions of guys have been prescribed Flomax. Talk to your doctor to see if Flomax is right for you. And call 877-4FLOMAX for a free 1-week trial. Why wait? For many men, Flomax can make a difference in 1 week.
Oh, can we get some extra napkins?
Can we get some extra napkins?
Steakhouse, please?
The Steakhouse, new from Burger King. Premium Angus beef. It's the burger you can't wait for.
Having an issue with your deodorant? Try Gillette Clinical Strength Antiperspirant. With odor-fighting microcapsules and wetness protection, that's 34% better than a prescription product. Gillette Clinical Strength Antiperspirant. Change your life, not your shirt.
Be careful, Jimmy.
I'm fine, Mom.
I'm bored. Can you hear me now?
Good, because we're going to need 2 rooms with king-sized beds and a spa treatment for my wife.
We test our network every day.
Spa treatment, honey.
So you get America's most reliable network, Verizon Wireless. This Mother's Day, get Mama Venus, or for just $99, get her a pink pearl.
You've done your research.
We went on cars.com, we compared models side by side, and I didn't have to resort to plan B.
Oh, what's plan B?
I was going to have you eat these brownies, which I mixed with a horse laxative.
Excuse me.
My husband kind of has a sweet tooth.
It is 4 o'clock in the Midwest as we welcome you back to St. Louis. 5th inning now, 6-1. The Cubs lead it. 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Terrio first up, and he takes a strike from Kyle Loesch. Joe Buck, Tim McCarver, Ken Rosenthal, Carol Langley McDermott is our producer, and Jimmy Lynch is our director, along with a cast of 10s to bring you this action from St. Louis. A 1-1 pitch to the right side for Ryan. Wide throw, but out to start the 5th. Our Nextel productivity game summary. Cubs went off in the top of the 4th inning with 6 runs, capped on a 3-run home run by Fontenot. And the only run for St. Louis driven in by Ryan Ludwig with an RBI double in the bottom of the inning. Here's Derek Lee. Ball 1. This is the 3rd year of this ballpark. First year at the 3rd version, in essence, of Busch Stadium. Cardinals won the World Series, beating Detroit here at this new ballpark. And there is the banner commemorating that. Tough pickup by Gloss. Good play. 2 out. Out beyond the wall in left center field, as you look at this pickup again by Gloss, who made a nice pickup, is where the last version of Busch Stadium used to stand, and it is now basically a crater out there. And part of the sales pitch to the community was Ballpark Village, which has yet to really start out beyond the wall. The ownership here is confident that that will begin, and something will be going in that area prior to the All-Star game, which is coming here next year. As a breaking ball is in for a strike from Loesch to Fukudome. 1 ball, 1 strike. Off the end of the bat, Loesch with plenty of time. And the inning is over. 3 ground balls for the outs, halfway through it in St. Louis. Bottom of the 5th, bottom of the order coming up. 6-1, Cubs out in front.
Few relationships in life are more important than the one between you and your Michelin tires. Rugged, long-lasting Michelin truck tires. Michelin, a better way forward.
And Piniella's out to argue.
What a great call. You're doing a fantastic job, but people expect me to come out here and be upset, so I'm going to kick some dirt. You understand? Yeah, I understand that. Well, lately I've been feeling happy and content. Yeah, you seem different.
Lou is really giving it to him.
You better kick me out of this game. I've got a reputation to uphold. Fine, you're out of here.
say hello to the missus.
I will. You do the same. Drinking water makes you feel better and a lot less irritable. So make your body happy. Drink Aquafina.
You deserve a meal made for men. Introducing Taco Bell's Big Box Meal. A bean burrito, crunchy taco, cinnamon twist, a large drink, and featuring the Bacon Club Chalupa. Eat like a man.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd.
Want to leave the singing of Take Me Out to the Ball Game? At the 2008 All-Star Game? Enter your video at MLB.com/BabyRuth for your chance to win.
If you're fed up with the pump, then meet Chevy's MVPs of MPG. 7 models that offer an EPA estimated 30 miles per gallon highway or better. Just extended through May 6. Current owners and lessees of a 1999 or newer vehicle use an additional $1,000 bonus cash to purchase this 08 Cobalt starting at $11,885 after all offers. See your local Chevy dealer or visit ChevyDealer.com.
Fox Saturday Baseball, sponsored by Chevy and American Revolution. Skies now less cloudy. Partly cloudy, a little cooler earlier. It's supposed to get warmer as we go, and as the sun pops out on what is a windy day in downtown, the temperature's gone up a little, 6-1 as we go into the bottom of the 5th. The bottom part of the lineup is coming up for the Cardinals. Molina, Loesch, and Caesar is Turris against Ted Lilly. 5-run game. Cubs on top. And a pop-up will get back and out of play. Strike one. Just talked with Tony La Russa. We'll play you that interview after Molina does something here to start the 5th.
Now, the one thing he probably will not do is strike out. He's only struck out 4 times this year.
That is ripped into left. Got a chance to go. 6-2 as Molina goes deep. Second home run of the season for Molina, who hit a line drive over the wall and left.
Boy, this is a low tracer on a breaking ball down and in. You could see Soto setting up outside. The pitch was inside. When a pitcher misses by a plate, and that's basically what Lilly did, that usually spells a bad ending for the pitcher, and that was certainly the case then. Boy, that ball was smoked. Low tracer.
Loesch pops it up on the infield, and Lee will give way to Fontenot. 1 out.
Look at Soto setting up outside and has to cross the plate, thinking he's going to catch the ball, but catchers don't catch those.
And boy, Molina has just turned himself into such an all-around threat. What he does behind the plate, guiding this pitching staff, what he does with his arm, nobody can even wander too far off first, as he is one of the best at throwing behind runners, and now he is a threat at the plate. Had a good spring training, finished last year strong. He's off to a solid start this year as his Turris takes a strike.
I asked Red Shandes, who is in his 66th year in baseball, most of it in uniform, not during the game, of course.
Here's a little pop-up behind short, and Terrio hauls it in. 2 out.
And Red said that Molina will probably not be a high average guy because he's a very, very slow runner, and he's not going to have a chance to turn an 0 for 4 into a 1 for 4 that makes a guy a 270 hitter, that he'll probably be somewhere between 245 and 250.
Here's Schumacher now with 2 out, nobody on, and if we don't get to the La Russa interview, we will at the next opportunity, the next half inning. 2 out, nobody on. Schumacher is 0 for 2, hitting .308 here at the start of 08, and a slow roller. DeRosa to his left. Off we go into the 6th inning. Cardinals get another run, down by 4. 6-2. Chicago, 6th inning in St. Louis coming up.
If you're fed up with the pump, then meet Chevy's MVPs of MPG. 7 models that offer an EPA estimated 30 miles per gallon highway or better. Just extended through May 6. Current owners and lessees of a 1999 or newer vehicle use an additional $1,000 bonus cash to purchase this 08 Cobalt starting at $11,885 after all offers. See your local Chevy dealer or visit ChevyDealer.com.
Can I help you, sir?
It's here to get my driver's license.
Let's see what we got. You have a birth certificate for Mr. Kozowski?
Check.
Eye test?
Pass.
Written test?
Pass.
Drive-in test?
Fail.
Next.
Get more done now. Communicate in less than a second with Nextel Direct Connect. Only on the Now Network.
Durable colors of nature home. Valspar, the beauty goes on.
On game day, it's all about performance, drive, and commitment. But off the field, I still need to look like a pro. With a size 42 waist, it's hard to find my size in department stores. That's when I found Casual Male XL.
Shop Casual Male XL, now with sizes starting at a 42-inch waist. Call 866-THINK-XL for a free catalog and get $20 off your first order.
My game plan's still the same, but now it's got a lot more style.
Casual Male XL, life's better when it fits.
Fox Saturday Baseball, sponsored by Sprint. Get more done with Nextel Direct Connect, only on the Now Network. By beautiful, durable Valspar paint. Valspar, the beauty goes on. And by Avidart. 6th inning of a 6-2 game. For Chicago, it's DeRosa first up. Hitting .276, and he has walked and scored in this game. Try to get La Russa's interview in during this half inning as a strike is in. And a check swing he held up. 2-1. During the week, Buzzi Bavasi died. He was 93 years old. As that's fouled down the left field line. And he was the architect of those great Dodger teams of the 50s and 60s, which won 4 World Series and ran the minor league system for the Dodgers in the 40s. As that pitch just missed, and the count's full 3-2.
Then the great Buzzi moved south to San Diego in 1969 and lived in the La Jolla area. Used to run into him a lot and loved to talk baseball and stayed on top of the game, watching the game primarily on television, occasionally going to games at the new San Diego Stadium. What a terrific guy.
DeRosa flies one into right center field, and Ankiel will get to it. 1 out. Tony La Russa, who we visited with during the last break, and we talked about his team not quitting at all, even when they're down on the scoreboard.
Well, and we've responded in games just like this, Joe. You know, if Kyle will pitch the rest of the game like he just pitched that 5th, you know, you get a couple here and a couple there, and it's come up several times. We've got in the last 2 or 3 innings, and we get the tying run on base, so we've got some game left.
We've got 3 of baseball's top experts here in Rosenthal, McCarver, and certainly me. None of us.
There's 2 there. There's Ken and Tim.
Yeah, I know. I knew. I'll keep lobbing them up for you. Well, just explain what's gone on and why your team has played as well as it has so far this year, when nobody counted on you guys to do anything.
Well, I never disagree with anybody that ranked us down, because you couldn't look at a lot of track records and look at success. But I just think if you look at our talent level, you know, we have competitive talent level. It's just a matter of experience. And guys are really, you know, you play with a lot of energy and you try to execute, you can compete in this game. And that's what's happened the first month with 5 to go.
All right. I see a smile creeping on your face. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
That's Tony La Russa, and he just watched his third baseman, Troy Gloss, make an outstanding play to his left, recover, and get the out.
Talk about energy and persistence, staying with the play to get Soto. Nicely done.
Now the first pitch to Fontenot, who has the biggest swing of the day with a 3-run shot in the fourth. A 6-run fourth inning, takes a strike. Here's the home run back in the fourth inning, which was basically the capper. And for Fontenot, his second of the year, and it gives him 10 RBIs. So Fontenot getting a chance today, got a chance last night, and he's making the most out of it as he takes ball 2. Our Avidart in-game box score. Lou Piniella has seen his lineup do this. Fukudome with a couple of hits. Soto with a 2-run double, and then the hit by Fontenot is the one that left the park. 1 for 2 and a 3-run home run. Reed Johnson has a hit. Good bunt by Lilly. And the guy at the top is still looking to get a hot streak going. Soriano, who's 0 for 3 today. Full count on Fontenot.
Disheartening when your team scores 6 runs and you make 2 outs in the inning.
That did happen. I didn't even get it. Not smart enough to figure out that did happen with Soriano back in the fourth.
Everybody says, well, you'll take that if your team scores 6 runs. It doesn't work like that.
A 2-out walk puts Fontenot on, and that's the second walk issued by Kyle Loesch, who's a little frustrated if body language tells you anything here in the 6th.
Hitters are much too selfish to think like that, and it's such a healthy selfishness in baseball. You never hear that. You hear that term a lot of time, unselfish, in basketball when he feeds off or he gets an assist, something like that. You never hear that stuff, unselfish, that word used in baseball. Baseball players are properly selfish.
And when they leave the game, they become selfish announcers. But we'll save that for another time. Strike 1 on Reed Johnson.
Oh, right. You'll save that for another time.
I love you like a brother.
Baby, I know that.
A gaggy moment on Fox Saturday Baseball right there. Sorry about that. 1 on, 2 out. And Reed Johnson, who's 1 for 2 on the day, choked way up on the bat. Behind on the count, 0-1. Tight breaking ball by Loesch, and the count is 0-2.
Should have said, I love you like a brother, you selfish.
Now you know me well.
Oh, man.
Reed Johnson so far this season is a .400 hitter with runners on. He's got a man on and 2 out. The big part of the order is coming up for the Cardinals, and Loesch wants to keep it a 4-run game and see if his hitters can get some more done against Ted Lilly. A run in the 4th, a run in the 5th, a 6-2 game. 0-2 pitch. Gloss, tough play, good pickup, and the throw is good enough. Gloss with 2 very good plays in the inning, and now for the Cardinals, Big Albert is coming to the plate after Ryan and before Ludwig. 6-2 Cubs on top.
It's the burger you can't wait for. The Steakhouse with 100% premium Angus beef. New from Burger King.
If you think all batteries are the same, consider this. When even the firefighters have to get out, they depend on the T-Pass 3 communicator. And packed inside every T-Pass is the only battery they trust. Duracell. Trusted everywhere.
Space is infinite, but it's my job to shrink it. I work for an Air and Space Museum, and I take the largest objects in the universe and bring them down in size. So when my doctor said that my going and going could get worse because my prostate was growing, I said, how can we shrink it? He said, Avidart. Avidart is different because over time, it actually shrinks the prostate, so I go less often. Other medicines, they don't treat the cause because they don't shrink the prostate.
Avodart is for men only. Women should not take or handle Avodart due to risk of a specific birth defect. Tell your doctor if you have liver disease. Rarely sexual side effects, swelling, or tenderness of the breasts can occur. Only your healthcare professional can determine if your symptoms are from an enlarged prostate and not prostate cancer. So have regular exams. Ask your doctor about Avodart today. It's your growing problem. It's our job to shrink it. Avodart.
We gave the C-Class high-strength steel reinforcements. Improved aerodynamics, top and bottom. And 100 years of racing heritage only we can provide. You may not see all that went into making the C-Class, but you will feel it. The C-Class starts at $32,425. Test drive one today.
Fox Monday, House's favorite soap star is dying, and House will do anything.
You kidnapped him?
To save him.
What are you doing? He needs an MRI.
All new House. Viewer discretion advised. Monday at 9/8 Central on Fox.
First pitch, Brendan Ryan tries to bunt his way on, and that is a foul ball.
Was it?
I looked like it was on the line, but no argument.
Wow.
Out of Pujols, who's looking down the line. Tim McClellan, the home plate umpire, that's his call. We'll take a look at the pitch, and just from our vantage point, you and I evidently saw the same thing.
Yeah.
It looked like DeRosa touched the ball while it was on the line, but let's look. It stays on the outside of it, and I think clearly he touched it. It was foul, and then it kicked over onto the line.
That's what it was, an illusion. I was out at batting practice last night and watching a couple of guys bunt the ball down the line. And that's a good play by DeRosa, because had he let that ball roll by itself, it would have come back, because the field is slightly slanted toward the infield to keep bunts like that fair.
0-1 pitch is down. That's what a lot of teams will do. A lot of good hitters and guys that can run when they first come to a park.
Sure.
You know this better than I is bunt and see how the ball rolls down the line.
Right.
In some stadiums they have it contoured to roll foul, and others they have it contoured to roll back in. That's the case here, and that one just stayed foul, and that's when DeRosa touched it. 2 balls and a strike on Ryan. Pujols next, and then Ludwig. Ryan flies one into right. Ball takes off a little bit, and Fukudome hauls it in, 1 out. Here comes Albert Pujols, and we go down to the field, and Ken Rosenthal. Kenny.
Joe, as you know, Albert Pujols is one awkward throw away from needing to undergo elbow ligament replacement surgery. That would cost him an entire season. There was some talk in spring training, even in the offseason, about Pujols having that surgery, missing the entire year. Part of the thought being, hey, the Cardinals weren't going to contend. Well, it's a good thing that he went and stayed and kept playing.
Yeah,
because right now he's going pretty well.
Yeah, he is, Ken, and that's kind of the way he's gone. You know, he's had a problem with plantar fasciitis in his foot. He's had some different issues during the course of this great 7-year run. But he has been willing to play through a lot of these situations, and it's worked out to this point. But Ken's right. He's got that little tear in his right elbow, and basically they're talking about Tommy John surgery at some point, either while he's still playing or needing it after he hangs it up. 1 ball, 1 strike from Ted Lilly. And that is a rocket into left and way out of here. 6-3. Home run number 6.
That's what happens when pitchers challenge Albert Pujols. Usually he wins. Ted Lilly threw that pitch as hard as he could, and Albert Pujols hit that pitch as hard as he could.
Now Ludwig with 1 out, a run home, nobody on. Lilly drops one in for strike 1.
Fastball. Out of here. In a hurry.
Second home run of the day hit by St. Louis. Ludwig takes another strike. It's 0-2. The other belongs to Molina. And the streak continues. That's 31 games, 31 times Pujols has reached base. And Ludwig strikes out way out in front of that pitch. Strikeout number 4 by Lilly.
Let's take a look at the sequence. Ted Lilly first with a curveball to Pujols, and then with the fastball that misses inside. And the home run. Almost no stride. Just overpowered that fastball.
Now Gloss takes a breaking ball for a strike. What the Cubs need on the other side now is for Lilly to get over the home run and pitch deeper into this game. Here we are in the 6th, and their bullpen was worn out last night because the starter Rich Hill did not get out of the first. Michael Wirtz was pitching in the first inning, and it was a long day as Lilly kind of hopped off the mound after that pitch. I don't know if he injured himself or what, but he takes a moment now behind the mound and now gets back up top. That looked weird.
Yeah, awkward.
Cubs do not need that. Fastball's low, 2-1. Pujols, along with all that power, last 4 years has hit over 330 combined. Now Gloss hits one down the left field line and foul.
Even though Troy Gloss is 0 for 2, he's had 2 good at-bats against Lilly. Hit a ball down almost at the end of the bat his first time up, driving center fielder Reed Johnson to the track and striking out his second time up, but a good at-bat.
Spoils that pitch. He looks like he's getting more locked in as he goes throughout this game and as he has throughout the first month of the season. Two. Full count with Ankiel on deck. Base is empty, a run home, and a 6-3 Chicago lead here in the 6th.
I would not throw him a fastball here. You can see Lilly, there's indecisiveness there. You know, even though you have a 3-run lead, this is a dangerous situation for a guy who's on your pitches.
A little flare that is dropped by Derek Lee. Mark that one and see where that leads, as Lee, who usually is a vacuum over at first, was there a little short of it, got a glove on it and just couldn't hang on.
Now, former Gold Glover made an error in last night's game, and that is not an easy play. We'll see if they give an error on that ball. There is no error given. But usually he catches that ball.
So Gloss gets another life, and Lilly has to make another pitch. And Gloss pops it up into shallow left, and Terrio will end the inning. We go into the 7th. A Pujols blast in the bottom of the 6th. 6-3 Cubs back after this from your local Fox station.
You're watching Major League Baseball on Fox.
Place your hand here. Can't feel the temperature-controlled air flowing from the lush leather. That's because there's only one place to experience the innovative details offered in the ES. Your Lexus dealer. Where you can lease the 2008 ES for $409 a month for 36 months with $3509 due at signing.
Go high. That's what we needed to see.
Hey guys, who wants some fresh biscuits?
Guys, don't bake. Made from scratch chicken biscuits. New at Hardee's.
Free your business from high monthly telephone bills through secure, reliable voice-over IP. Light Edge Solutions. Voice, data, IT, converged.
A musical ode to new Roundup Power Max. Roundup Power Max. Consistent power, max performance.
You're watching Fox 18, home to America's favorite network.
1 week ago, if I heard the name Ford, I wouldn't even consider test driving a Ford. That's me. This is perfect.
We knew that people who don't drive a Ford would be surprised by Ford. So we went from town to town and friend to friend, inviting real people to drive one.
Nice and sporty.
Beautiful. I'm excited.
There we go. Oh, yeah.
Navigation is definitely a plus.
I love this car. I want to keep it. I had so much fun driving it.
There we go.
Yeah.
Drive an Escape with 0 for 60 or choose 2,000 cash back. Visit a Ford store or go to localfordstores.com and drive one.
Your reliable news team.
The Fox 18 9 o'clock news.
The shadows start to creep toward home plate. 4:30 here in St. Louis as Ted Lilly slaps at it and fouls it back and out of play. Our Gillette Fusion Power Phenom trivia question: who holds the Cardinals' single season record for strikeouts by a pitcher? It's a rookie record. If I fail to say rookie the first time, but a good question. The Cardinals' single season rookie record for strikeouts by a pitcher in a franchise that is known as having some great pitchers throughout the years. 1-1 pitch from Loesch is just ripped into right field by Lilly, and it gets past Ludwig. Lilly will cruise into second base or dive head first unnecessarily with a double.
I think that's only his second career extra base hit. Smokes that ball. That's a swing like an everyday player. So Ted Lilly certainly helping his cause here in the seventh. That is his second extra base hit for his career. Of course, a lot of that career spent in the American League.
It's in 98 at bats. He's got 2 doubles now. And so Lilly trying to get that run back that he just allowed on the home run by Pujols as he leads off the 7th with a double, and the Cardinal bullpen gets loose. Russ Springer starts to crank it up as Soriano steps in 0 for 3.
Joe, interesting situation right here. Normally you'd want your leadoff hitter bunting the guy on second with nobody out to third base, but no chance for a bunt here. None.
Soriano reached for that pitch, strike 1. Last night, after having a rough evening in left field, sent one over the wall in left. His reaction, maybe the reaction just as good from Yadier Molina, the Cardinal catcher.
Right. Both of them mad.
Here's the 0-1. A breaking ball is in for strike 2. And Soriano's thinking, I'm 0 for 3. I'm hitting 157. Everybody's on my back for being the leadoff hitter. And I'm 0-2 in his 4th at bat. And Molina blocks it, ball 1.
Here's that last night after the home run. Look at Molina first. Darn it. Now Soriano darted.
And it took 11 innings for that one to end on a home run by Skip Schumacher. That's fair. Past Gloss and down the left field line. Soriano and Lilly with back-to-back doubles, and it's a 7-3 Chicago lead in the 7th. So that'll feel good for Soriano as he gets his first hit of the day against Kyle Loesch.
Tried to come inside with the fastball, did Loesch. And Soriano just cobra quick inside.
And that ends the day for Loesch, who impressively just bounced the ball off the pitching rubber back into his hand. As his day is over, La Russa will make the switch. Springer's coming in with Terrio coming up.
All right, firefighters, settle down. How about the budget? And the taxes?
What page you left?
Anyone want better roads?
We do.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Done. A lot of paper to tell us we need clean water. Need clean water, guys? All right, this is the easiest job I've ever had. We're out of here.
Get more done now. Communicate with groups in less than a second with Nextel Direct Connect. Only on the Now Network.
It's a whole new neighborhood. Just ask our neighbors. For them, we've raised the bar on salads. With Applebee's signature salads you won't find anywhere else. Like California shrimp salad. Seared shrimp on buttery bib lettuce with crispy bacon, fresh avocado, and grape tomatoes. Here's to one amazing salad. Only at Applebee's. It's a whole new neighborhood.
This place is great.
Oh, see what I see? Oh. Yeah, we're gonna send her a plate of bacon.
Bacon? Oh, it's a little too aggressive. Let's send her a cheese omelet.
No, an English muffin. It's more proper.
What about a hot cinnamon roll?
Cinnamon roll? Well, that's something you send your sister. I'm gonna send her some bacon.
Compliments of those guys. Oh, yogurt.
Check out the new hot bar in town, the Holiday Inn Express Hot Breakfast Bar.
See, you guys don't know anything about women.
We've all been in tough situations, on the ball field and in life. When I was younger, I was a part of RBI. It stands for Reviving Baseball in Inner Cities.
Everybody bring it in.
It's a place where kids can come together, work together, and play together, so they can handle the tough situations on the ball field.
RBI on three up here. 1, 2, 3. RBI!
And in life. Major League Baseball proudly supports the RBI program.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Well, Kyle Loesch is now left to sit and watch. Here's his pitching line. 106 pitches on the day. Started out very good, but ran into trouble in the 4th inning. 6+ innings. So far, 7 runs on 9 hits, 2 walks, no strikeouts, and a home run allowed. His first home run allowed of the year. Runner at second, and Springer misses with ball 1. And for Loesch, who had an overall ERA of 2.36, his last act on the mound and his reaction was bouncing the ball off the rubber in frustration and see you later. He had a 1.08 ERA at home coming into today's start, but he is out of there in the 7th, and the count evens 1-1 on Terrio.
Cardinals looking for a bunt with Gloss in at third base, and it's a tough play for a third baseman because he has to kind of center himself that way so he can see the guy on second base. Pujols in at first, but no signs of a bunt from Terrio. I don't think he bunt here anyway, but you can see Gloss at third. Very unusual. That set up facing the runner at second.
Terrio after a high delivery 1-2, and now the chances are really gone that Terrio would drop down a bunt with 2 strikes and a guy who's at the plate hitting .321. One-two pitch. Springer first out of the bullpen. How far is Ted Lilly going to go in this game? He has doubled and scored in this inning, and so far pitching well. 3 runs on 5 hits. Springer looks back. Soriano gets the out. 1 away. Pepsi is the official soft drink of Major League Baseball. And they're proud to present the April nominees for the Pepsi Clutch Performer of the Month Award. Brandon Webb, Nate McCluth, Pat Burrell. And Tim circles Pat Burrell, who had another big swing last night. Here's some other candidates: Creedy, Chin-Ming Wong, and Manny Ramirez. Be sure to vote for the Pepsi Clutch Performer of the Month by logging on to PepsiClutch.com.
Phillies beating the Giants last night 6-5 in 10 innings on a 2-run home run by Pat Burrell.
That pitch is up to Derek Lee, ball 1. And same spot, 2-0. Philly fans have been waiting for Burrell to have one of those years where it all comes together. Known as Pat the Bat coming out of college, and he's had spurts where he's been impossible to retire, and then other times where he just looks completely lost at the plate.
From exhilaration to futility.
Here's a 2-0. Runner at second, 1 out, and that's ball 3 on Lee with first base open. But Fukudome on deck, who is 2 for 3 this afternoon. .30 pitch from Russ Springer. Soriano stealing third. Throw down not made. Stolen base for Soriano. His 3rd of the year.
When you're 5'10", it's almost impossible to throw over a guy 6'5".
By the way, this is ball 4 to Derek Lee.
Right.
To put runners at the corners, and again the 3rd steal for Soriano.
D. Lee 6'4", but still you get the point. With Soriano stealing, I think most catchers throughout baseball, the most surprising count on which to run is 3-0.
Now Fukudome, who's 2 for 3. An RBI double in that 6-run 4th inning. First and third, 1 out, ball 1 outside. Kosuke Fukudome, again unaware of that Cubs World Series drought, and he has really become a fan favorite out in right at Wrigley. They love him, and it certainly didn't hurt when he hit that 3-run home run against Eric Gagne and the Milwaukee Brewers in the home opener to tie a game that the Cubs eventually lost to Milwaukee. The 2-0 on the outside corner, 2-1. Gary Hughes is the scout who signed him, and they have really needed that left-handed bat in their lineup. And Fukudome has still hit just the 1 home run, that home run on opening day at Wrigley. Now 2-2.
Tell you, Joe, his batting style is like Hideki Matsui of the New York Yankees. He's very, very close. Check this out right here. Matsui on the left and Fukudome on the right. That swing eerily familiar of the Yankee slugger.
Here's a 2-2 pitch from Springer. And then, because statistically they almost match up here after the first month of a season, Fukudome is compared to Ichiro. But talking to Gerald Perry, the hitting coach now with Lou Piniella and the Cubs, he was Ichiro's first hitting coach with Seattle. He said, they're different players, different hitters. And a guy like Ichiro, who's now in his 8th season, could end up in Cooperstown.
Absolutely.
With the kind of numbers he's put together. Fukudome is working his way toward that. Here's a little flare into left center field. Another hit for Fukudome. He's going to try and make it into second. He does, hustling all the way. And it's 8-3 Chicago here in the 7th. 3rd hit of the day, 2nd extra base hit for Kosuke Fukudome, and the line is complete on Kyle Loesch.
Fukudome on that inside out swing. Excellent base running. Schumacher in left field does what he can, but Fukudome running hard out of the box. Gets a double.
Now the infield is in with runners at 2nd and 3rd, only 1 out, and the batter is DeRosa. And for Kyle Loesch, 6+ innings, 8 runs on 9 hits. Most of the damage coming in a 6-run 4th. The 1-0 to 3rd and knocked down by Gloss. Throw over for the out. What a good play. He's played the heck out of 3rd today. 2 out.
I think if you're Derek Lee, you've got to try to score with 2nd and 3rd and only 1 out in a situation like that, even if he's out at home plate. And it would have been a very difficult throw for Troy Glaus to get him at home. But the worst that can happen is you have 1st and 3rd and 2 out, but you've taken a chance on scoring a run. I think you send the runner at 3rd every time when you have a 5-run lead in the late innings in that situation.
Here's Soto now, 2nd and 3rd, 2 out. That was made to be a much tougher play for Gloss because he was playing in. And basically had to reach behind him to knock it down, and then came up with a good throw. Strike 1. Soto last weekend went through a stretch where he struck out in 8 consecutive at bats. Got an off day on Sunday, got a team off day on Monday, and then had a terrific series swinging the bat against the Brewers. Got a hit in his next at bat and had the 2-homer game on Wednesday with a pair of 3-run shots as the count goes to 2-1. Springer trying to limit the damage. It's a 5-run game again, and now strike 2 on Soto.
Great shot there. 2 fine young catchers from Puerto Rico, both Molina and Soto. Soto from Ponce.
Molina sets up outside, and it's way out there for ball 3.
The best defensive catcher ever from Puerto Rico, Ivan Rodriguez. Pudge now with the Detroit Tigers.
Detroit plays tonight, and if you haven't looked in a while after that dismal start, Detroit will start that game only 2 games under the 500 mark and a game and a half out in the Central. Meanwhile, the Yankees won today. They beat Seattle again at home 6-1. And the Angels are leading at home over the Orioles in the bottom of the 8th out in Orange County.
Where would the Yankees be without Chin-Ming Wong? Won his 6th game last night, 6-0.
Here's a 3-2 pitch. High to load him up. Second walk of the inning since Springer took over. Bases loaded for Mike Fontenot. Boys and Girls Clubs of America is the official charity of Major League Baseball, reaching more than 4 million kids worldwide. Together they create a positive place for kids. Mike Fontenot could deliver a knockout blow here in the 7th. Breaking ball is Over but low, ball one. Fontenot's reached twice, the 3-run home run. Bases loaded, 2 out. With the Cubs up by 5. St. Louis in the bottom of this 7th will have Ankiel, Molina, and then the pitcher's spot. That's high, 2-0. Beautiful day here in St. Louis. A lot of action and a 2-0 pitch from Springer. 3-0, and that's not even close. Springer spent time on the disabled list as Anthony Reyes gets loose for the Cardinals in their bullpen. Former starter. But he's getting loose right now with an eye on the 8th inning because the Cardinals are going to have to pinch hit for Springer in the bottom of this 7th. That will force home a run. Ball 4. Everybody moves up 1, and the Cubs have their original 6-run lead back. 3 walks in this inning by Springer.
Missing up and away to the left-hander. All 4 fastballs were up and away in a similar position.
Now Dave Duncan will go out and talk to Springer, and the batter will be Reed Johnson, the number 8 hitter. Tonight, NASCAR on Fox will move to Richmond. We told you last year Jimmy Johnson held off Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin to take home the checkered flag. And Chevrolets finished in each of the top 4 spots. How about this year? Tune in to Sprint Cup Series racing from the Richmond International Speedway tonight at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific in high def here on Fox. So Springer will work to Reed Johnson, and this is again the 9th man to bat in the inning. The Cubs have batted around twice in this game, in the 6-run 4th and now here in a 3-run 7th with a chance for more. Ball 1. There are guys who choke up on the bat, and then there's Reed Johnson. He is way up on the bat handle as he digs in here for the 4th time in this game.
That's a good 2.5, 3 inches.
There's a strike, 1-1. The Cubs have gone 5 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Fukudome, Soto, and Fontenot are aboard. Fontenot with a 4 RBI day. Started this game with 7 on the year as Johnson hits it in the air to left center field. Ankiel and Schumacher, and it's Ankiel back to make the catch near the track. 9 men to the plate in the inning for Chicago. 3 more runs. The 6-run lead is back. 9-3 Cubs.
Welcome to our moment. Doesn't look like much, but our moment is happening right now.
Is it raining in our moment yet?
There's a lot of rain this time of year, and our biggest competitor dropped the ball, so we needed to get more of our umbrellas out ASAP. I'm so glad we have AT&T. I jumped online, rerouted a shipment, and won a big new customer. Right on time.
Seize your moment with AT&T exclusively business and get small business support and discounts.
Do you smell bacon? Oh,
Yeah, it's a bacon club chalupa. Guys love bacon.
Hey, how's it going?
Irresistible. Taco Bell's Bacon Club Chalupa is back. Bacon lovers rejoice.
Smells good.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and rice.
Want to lead the singing of Take Me Out to the Ball Game? At the 2008 All-Star Game? Enter your video at MLB.com/Baby Ruth for your chance to win.
I went up to one of them and I was like, hi, Ron. Hi, Don. And I was going to sit down there and then I thought I would.
Steve, aren't you the designated driver this morning?
Yeah, I forgot. Here. Hey, I don't have to have a hot breakfast to have a good time.
Yeah, but you're more fun when you do.
Check out the new hot bar in town, the Holiday Inn Express Hot Breakfast Bar.
Fox Saturday Baseball, sponsored by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. By Holiday Inn, earn points and MLB tickets. By Aquafina, the official water of Major League Baseball. Lilly has given the Cubs exactly what they needed, which is a longer outing today than what is almost typically asked of big league starters or expected. He's into the 7th. He'd love to go into the 8th or maybe finish what he started with the kind of night the bullpen for the Cubs had last night. And Keel in the hole 0-2. 9-3 Cubs lead. And Keel hammers it foul. Our Gillette Fusion Power Phenom trivia question was, who holds the Cardinals single season rookie record for strikeouts by a pitcher? The answer is Rick Ankiel, with 194 strikeouts in the year 2000.
About that.
At the plate now as an everyday outfielder, and he fouls away another.
Well, that's a good one.
On 0-2, that's down and away from Lilly. Ankiel, Molina, then a pinch hitter. As the Cubs lead at 9-3 in the 7th. Reaching for it, good pitch by Lilly. Ankiel grounds out, and he's 0 for 3. So up to 98. Sure, they're not going to push him too hard in a 6-run game. They did bring up Sean Gallagher, and the Cubs feel confident in that right-hander's abilities. Maybe he gets a shot here today to give everybody a day off in the pen. Sean Marshall didn't work long last night. He's another possibility. Here's Molina, who homered his last time up. Strike one inside corner. Brian Barton, a rookie, is on deck. He'll hit for Springer. And a shot into center field. Johnson will play it on a bounce. Second hit for Molina. 2 out of 3. So here's Barton, who takes over for Springer, who went 1 inning and allowed 1 run on 1 hit, but did walk 3.
Talk about a bright young man. A young man who is 1 semester away from a degree in aeronautical engineering.
Very quiet guy in a Rule 5 draft pickup by the Cardinals out of the Indians organization.
aerospace engineering. He's traveled to Europe, the Caribbean, and Ethiopia. I asked him about Ethiopia. I said, why'd you go there? He said, I just wanted to see it. I was encouraged to travel. I spent a couple of weeks in Addis Ababa. Now, how many baseball players have been to Addis Ababa? Not many.
Or interned at Boeing.
Yeah, right. Interned at Boeing aircraft.
Here's a 2-0 count now, and a visit from Soto out to Ted Lilly. The Rule 5 situation, if you don't know, means that the Cardinals took him out of the minor league system of the Indians, and they have to keep him on their 25-man roster all year. If he's forced off it, and there's no reason why he would be, he's hitting .325, and they would have to offer him back to the Indians organization for half the price they paid to get him of $50,000. He's become a fan favorite. People like him around here. And he has been patient and run the count to 3-0 as the Cardinals try to get back in it. Marmol, the right-hander who did not pitch in last night's game. Worked plenty on Thursday, will get loose as ball 4 is low to Barton. And Piniella is going to make a long, slow,
winding
walk
road
to
the mound
to talk to Lilly. How about that? It took him a minute and a half to get out there. Whatever he said was one word, and it's taking him about 40 seconds to get back. Each week leading up to the All-Star game, Fox will be counting down Yankee Stadium's greatest baseball moments presented by Bank of America. Following the tragedy of 9/11, President Bush set the tone for the 2001 World Series, throwing out the first pitch, Game 3. And then Jeter, who was dubbed Mr. November, was the Game 4 hero. Brocious and Soriano seized the night in Game 5. Then the series shifted back out to the desert. The Diamondbacks won it. To vote for your favorite moment, log on to foxsports.com. Keyword moments. The most popular moment will be revealed at the All-Star game July 15th. Here on Fox, our coverage starts at 7 Eastern. Pitch in the dirt, 1-1 on his Turris. With 2 on and 1 out. Little fly ball into right, easy for Fukudome. The catch, the lob back into the infield, 2 out. And Schumacher will be the hitter. You would think a guy with the name Schumacher on Derby Day would do something big. But so far he's 0 for 3. 2 on, 2 out, 9-3 Chicago. Schumacher hits a foul ball down the right field line. We just added an audience watching the Angels and Orioles. Angels won that game. They know that. You don't. 3-1. The final there. That's us, and we're in St. Louis. The Cubs have had 2 big innings, a 6-run fourth, a seventh inning 3 spot. It was put up moments ago, and in a 9-3 game, the Cardinals, who won last night, have 2 on and 2 out, and Lilly looks back at Molina, who's going nowhere. Here's our Flomax game summary. Fukudome 3 out of 4 with a couple driven in. Pujols has gone deep, his 6th of the year, and Molina, who's the lead runner at second, has hit a home run as well, and Schumacher, who was the hero last night with an 11th inning home run, has the count even 1-1.
Joe, you said a guy like Schumacher on Derby Day should do well. A name like Schumacher on a network who does NASCAR, you'd think he'd have a good day also.
Everything pointing in his favor, but he's in the hole here of 1 and 2.
I mean, Michael Schumacher is the highest paid, or was the highest paid athlete in the world, I believe, the Formula One driver in Europe. I think he lives in Chicago, I think. So not only is Willie Schumacher reminiscent of Derby Day, but Michael Schumacher, quite a story in himself.
Skip is a .306 hitter for the Cardinals, and he lines one right to DeRosa. And the inning is over. We go into the 8th inning. Cubs have had fun today at the Cardinals' expense. They lead at 9-3. Right now we send it to Jeannie with a DirecTV game break.
Welcome to the DirecTV Game Break, sponsored by DirecTV, the best way to watch sports. It is baseball now, but NASCAR is in your direct future.
Saturday night short track race in Richmond will be packed, and many say it's one of the raciest tracks on the circuit.
Some of the best fights I've ever seen. Saturday night at a racetrack. Drivers and crew chiefs are going to get a little bit on pins and needles. This is exciting, man. Y'all fought the wall, and the wall won. Well, boys, let's just sit back and see what.
This has been the DirecTV Game Break. DirecTV, the best way to watch sports.
DirecTV is doing very well in customer satisfaction. What do we do?
I learned this in business school when I read about business school in a book. We can't improve our service, but we can improve the price. We can make it higher.
You know what? That's not a bad idea.
We'll get the people with disposable income, and they can dispose of it to us.
And they don't watch TV. They're workaholics.
They wouldn't know HD if it sat in their lap and called them mama.
Get more TV for your money. Call 1-800-DIRECTV.
No, guys, let's talk commitment. Relax, talking about beer. Budweiser has stayed true to the same recipe for over 130 years, through 5 generations. They could have cut corners, but they didn't, because they won't sacrifice quality or great taste. 130 years. Now that's commitment.
I love commitment.
So fine that I really want to make you mine.
Any more questions?
Nope. This is the one I want. Cars.com had me prepared before I came in. I used my cell phone to get the car listings and pricing info.
Smart.
Yeah, otherwise I was going to have to go with Plan B.
What's Plan B?
Oh, I was going to have you fight Glondor in a Stone Circle death match. You should definitely step outside the circle, yeah, just to avoid any confusion. Glondor, let's pack it up.
It's the burger you can't wait for. The Steakhouse with 100% premium Angus beef. New from Burger King.
Felix PA will come off the bench and bat for Ted Lilly, who did a nice job today for Chicago. 7 innings, 3 runs, 6 hits, a walk, 4 strikeouts, 2 home runs. Anthony Reyes takes over for St. Louis on the mound, and Brian Barton stays in the game and left. Felix PA right now is the guy that is squeezed onto the bench as he drops one into center, a first pitch base hit to start the 8th. The Cubs again are going to have to determine, now that Soriano is back, if they like Reed Johnson as much as they think they do. Does it serve Felix PA well to sit on the bench and get spot starts and become a pinch hitter, or is he better off going back to Iowa and getting a chance to play every day and try and get better? He's at first with nobody out. Here's Soriano, and here's Ken Rosenthal. What do you think about that, Ken?
Joe, you're right. Lou Piniella has said that over the next month, he really needs to find out about PA. And if it turns out that PA can't hit, they've got a couple of options. They could go get another left-handed hitting center fielder, or they could get another left-handed hitter to play right field and then move Fukudome over to center.
So they're to the point now where they wonder if the guy can play. which is interesting because a couple of years ago all you heard about was Felix P.A. was the hot prospect for the Cubs. A lot of teams were interested in him, Kenny, but they're not convinced that he's going to produce on an everyday basis here at the big league level, huh?
They love his defense. They think he's a Gold Glove caliber center fielder, but the offensive part of it is yet to come.
2 balls and a strike on Soriano. 3-1 from Anthony Reyes. Reyes is another guy who is reportedly, according to Ken Rosenthal, and we can bring him back in on the trading block for the Cardinals if the team makes a right offer. He is a deposed starter as he walks Soriano, trying to figure it out in the bullpen. He's had some success, Ken, but he may be out there for a team who wants to take a chance on a guy who has at times looked like he could be a very good big league starter.
Right, Joe, and it all depends on how quickly Mulder and Carpenter come back, particularly Mulder, and how he fares. They don't have to trade him. He has a minor league option left. He's relatively cheap, making just over the major league minimum. So it would have to be a deal that they really liked.
2 on, nobody out, and Terrio is at the plate.
Biggest start of his life, game 1 of the World Series in Detroit 2 years ago. Cardinals on their way to the World Series, and Anthony Reyes with a very important start against the Tigers in Detroit to win game 1 of that series.
And all he did was go 8+ innings and allowed 2 runs on 4 hits. Walked only 1. Still trying to get a good sense of the strike zone and how to work in it and around it. And if you talk to Dave Duncan, he'll tell you that Anthony Reyes can't pitch the way he has pitched in the minor leagues and be consistently successful at the big league level. They've tried to work with him, and there's just something that's missed there because the guy has been terrific in the minor leagues. He's had a couple of good starts at the big league level, but nothing consistent. That ball was a pretty good pitch, but Molina couldn't hang on to it, and the count's 2-1.
What I see is there's velocity but no movement. It's a 4-seam fastball that he throws, and I think he's going to have to add movement and perhaps sacrifice velocity to be a successful major league pitcher.
Here's a 2-1. Fouled back, 2-2. Reyes was at USC and for a while was a teammate of a guy named Mark Pryor, who is now trying to make it back to the big league level and rehab yet again. Now in the San Diego Padre organization as the Cubs cut ties with Pryor. The count's now full on Terrio.
Guys, the San Diego Padres in last place in the National League West. Tough time scoring runs.
Runners go, a fly ball into right. Ludwig with a diving catch, and the runners have to return. That's the first out of the inning, and that was very close to a trap, and somehow Ludwig got there.
I'll tell you, that is excellent base running by both PA and Soriano, because how many times does a base runner have to look at the umpire to see the call? But this ball is a catch, and a beautiful catch by Ludwig, and the umpires up with the right arm was the first base umpire Mike DeMiro. And both base runners, seeing that, alertly went back to their bags.
As they were off on the pitch, and now a breaking ball is over but low to Derek Lee.
Here's PA going to third base, stopping himself, and now he had to have picked up the first base umpire who went up with the out call, because obviously if it's a trap, you don't want to go back to second base. All sorts of problems doing that. So very, very good base running by both PA and Soriano.
Derek Lee has scored twice, has a single, has a walk. Pretty good movement on that last pitch from Anthony Reyes, who deals with 2 on, 1 out, and misses the inside corner. 2-1. The 2-1 pitch is hammered into center field. Ankiel makes the catch and throws in late. 2 out. Ball could not have been hit any harder, and Ankiel made a nice catch, and a ball hit right at him. Fox Sports has established Fox Sports Supports, and for baseball, we talk about this week after week. We wear these pins in honor of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. They do such a great job. They've granted 13,000 wishes a year to children with life-threatening medical conditions. So if you want to help make wishes come true and bring joy to kids, visit wish.org. Here's a ball up the middle, and Reyes does a nice job after allowing the first 2 on. He gets Terrio, Lee, and now Fukudome, who bounces into the force out. Bottom of the 8th in St. Louis.
It's a whole new neighborhood. Just ask our neighbors. For them, we've raised the bar on salads. With Applebee's signature salads you won't find anywhere else. Like California shrimp salad. Seared shrimp on buttery bib lettuce with crispy bacon, fresh avocado, and grape tomatoes. Here's to one amazing salad. Only at Applebee's. It's a whole new neighborhood.
Going over and over? It's not just you. Stopping and starting? Going urgently? You're not alone. Lots of guys experience male urinary symptoms due to BPH, also known as an enlarged prostate. But for many guys, prescription Flomax reduces their urinary symptoms due to BPH in 1 week. Only your doctor can tell if you have BPH, not a more serious condition like prostate cancer. Avoid driving or hazardous tasks for 12 hours after your first dose or increase in dose, as a sudden drop in blood pressure may occur, rarely resulting in fainting. If considering cataract surgery, tell your eye surgeon you've taken Flomax. Common side effects are runny nose, dizziness, and decrease in semen. Millions of guys have been prescribed Flomax. Talk to your doctor to see if Flomax is right for you. And call 877-4FLOMAX for a free 1-week trial. Why wait? For many men, Flomax can make a difference in 1 week.
Be careful, Jimmy.
I'm fine, Mom.
I'm bored. Can you hear me now?
Good, because we're going to need 2 rooms with king-sized beds and a spa treatment for my wife.
We test our network every day.
Spa treatment, honey.
So you get America's most reliable network, Verizon Wireless. This Mother's Day, get Mom a Venus, or for just $99, get her a pink pearl.
Fox Saturday Baseball is sponsored by Flomax, by Applebee's, it's a whole new neighborhood, and by Verizon Wireless. The mighty Mississippi, with the old courthouse in the background and the arch, and now it's Carlos Marmol who takes over for Chicago after Lilly went 7 and is in line for his 2nd win of the year.
Marmol, perhaps and arguably the most valuable pitcher in the Chicago Cubs bullpen. There's a lot of talk about Kerry Wood and becoming a stopper this year for the first time, saving 4 out of 7 tries. But Marmol, a very, very valuable man if the Cubs are going to win the Central Division of the National League.
Yeah, and I think as Adam Kennedy bats here for Brendan Ryan, I think one thing that Lou Piniella has to fight is the urge to wear this guy out.
Yeah, yep, exactly right.
Here's a foul backing out of play. 1-1 on Kennedy, who's bounced back with a nice season after a dismal first year back with the Cardinals. Former first-round draft pick, had some good years with the Angels. Became a free agent. Cardinals signed him before last year, and he just didn't do anything. He's hitting .314 here in 08. Lifts one into center. In comes PA, and Felix hauls it in, 1 out. And in comes Albert Pujols with the bases empty. And a streak now of 31 consecutive games to start the season reaching base. He homered in the 6th. Pujols takes a ball. Both the Cardinals and the Cubs will be involved in Fox Saturday Baseball next week. The Diamondbacks will be in Chicago to take on the Cubs, and the Cardinals are in Milwaukee. Another game on Fox Saturday Baseball, Yankees and Tigers. 1 week from today and on the air at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific in high def right here on Fox. 2-0 is the count on Albert Pujols, and strike one. Breaking ball for strike two.
It's a term that's recently come into the language of Major League Baseball concerning pitchers, and the term is electric stuff. Boy, does this guy have that new term.
And he strikes out Pujols for the second out of the inning. Big rip by Pujols right in the sunlight at home plate. And he strikes out.
After two sliders, Marmol gets Albert Pujols. As you see, you're going from the shadow to sunlight to shadow. If you think it's hard to hit, think about the catcher. It's a tough route from the pitcher's mound to home plate right now.
And a breaking ball for a strike, and add to that the fact that the pitcher's in the sunlight.
Yeah, right.
So it goes sunlight, shadow, sunlight,
right.
Shadow. Ludwig. Just big swing on a pitch up and in, and the count is 0-2. Ryan has made that nice catch in right and has an RBI double. Hitting .307. A Cardinal team that leads the major leagues in team on base percentage. They have the most walks in baseball, and they've combined that with good starting pitching. Rough day today for a guy they've counted on here in the first month of the season, Kyle Loesch. Ludwig into left center, and a great break on that ball by PA. And you can see why Ken Rosenthal earlier said they love his defense in center. Covered a ton of ground as we go to the ninth here in St. Louis. Cubs lead it 9-3.
Every day is a new chance to show the world how phenomenal you can be. Start today with the confidence you get from Gillette Fusion Power Phenom. Fusion Power soothing micropulses help you reduce friction so you barely feel the blades. Try the world's most comfortable shave, Fusion Power. The best a man can get.
Durable colors of nature. Home. Valspar. The beauty goes on.
Layers make things better. Like the tasty layers of Nestle Crunch Crisp. Light, crispy wafers stacked together between layers of chocolatey goodness with airy Crispies on top. Nestle Crunch Crisp, a tasty treat for the kid in you.
Welcome to our moment. You want some shade for the moment? Sure. They needed someone to landscape a new subdivision across town. Fast. That's where AT&T came in. I checked inventory at the nursery. I got pricing from the office and submitted the bid online, all from right here. See, if we can't make our moment happen, it'll become someone else's moment. Guys, we got the job. Sweet.
Seize your moment with AT&T Exclusively Business and get small business support and discounts.
Yes.
You deserve a meal made for men. Introducing Taco Bell's Big Box Meal. A bean burrito, crunchy taco, cinnamon twist, a large drink, and featuring the Bacon Club Chalupa. Eat like a man.
We are into the 9th inning now, and Reyes, who took over last inning and got around a hit and a walk to start the 8th, deals with DeRosa. Counts 2-0. DeRosa, then Soto, then Fontenot. And a fly ball into right center field. Ludwig is on the move at the track. It's over his head and off the wall. Mark DeRosa has a leadoff double to start the 9th inning. And for DeRosa, that's his first hit. So just about everybody, in fact, every spot in this lineup has a hit today for Chicago.
And a ton of extra base hits as Mark DeRosa gives it a long, lofty ride to right center. Ludwig runs out of room and hits the base of the wall, and DeRosa has his 6th double of the year.
Adam Kennedy, by the way, took over at second base after pinch hitting for Brendan Ryan, and now the batter is Soto. Giovanni with a 2-run double and a run scored, and that 6-run 4th takes a ball. One ball, one strike. Here's a 1-1 from Reyes, down and away, 2 balls and a strike as the left-hander Marshall gets loose for Chicago in their pen. No reason to extend Marmol. Maybe save him for tomorrow night in what figures to be the rubber game of this series. Here's a 2-1. 3 balls and a strike. The Cubs will leave here and go on to Cincinnati. Meanwhile, the Cardinals will head to Colorado, and then Milwaukee next weekend will be part of our slate of games on Saturday. Full count on Soto. Anthony Reyes trying to get out of trouble here in the 9th inning. Doesn't help himself with his 2nd walk. Tim McCarver got here a day early on Thursday, and he was busy on Thursday in Florissant, Missouri. Had a book signing. They were lined up for miles to come in and see Tim McCarver do just that. Was on KMOX radio with Charlie Brennan for a couple of hours. Signed his new book, Diamond Gems.
Yeah, it was very nice. KMOX in front of a live audience yesterday in Florissant, Missouri.
And on this card it says the president of Tim McCarver's fan club was there. Membership peaked at 32 members. That's Brian Biederman, our whatever he does at his finest. Here's a strike over the outside corner to Fontenot. Man. This book has never gotten more. Nobody could get more publicity.
Now, it's got some great Cardinal stories, or stories from Cardinals, from Bob Gibson and Stan Musial. Ernie Banks is featured in the book. Cubs and Cardinals represented very well.
This is not going to be like one of those million little pieces stories where you're going to have to go on Oprah and say that some of the stuff's not true in your book. This
Maybe.
is all true.
Oh, no. I know the book to which you are referring, and no. This no.
Fontenot, strike 2.
That's good. You come up with the title of that book, though. Wasn't the author of that book Fry?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
You do better than I with the author. He got fried by Oprah.
Man.
That was a grilling. Here's a swing and a miss, and Fontenot is gone for the first out here in the 9th. Then I got a chance last night to see all TiVo'd and ready for my evening after arriving back from the game to watch Tom Cruise in his sit-down interview with Oprah.
The most recent one?
The most
or
recent.
the older one?
No, the most recent one.
Oh.
They were on Tom's turf. A cabin somewhere. 2 on, 1 out. The batter is Marmol, so they'll let Marmol hit. I'll let you be the one to second guess Lou Piniella and say, why are you going to run this guy back out there for another inning in a 9-3
No, I think that is an absolutely valid point.
Okay. Here is a check swing, and he's in the hole 0-2.
I mean, Carlos had 59 appearances last year. I don't think it's a situation. I mean, you've got a 6-run lead, and you're going to use, as we said, the most valuable guy in the bullpen. I don't think so.
So you're agreeing with me then?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Marmol strikes
apologize.
out. I think you have to conserve innings and pitches and wear and tear on this guy.
Yep, with a 6-run lead. If it's a 1 or 2-run lead, certainly understandable.
But if Marshall or anybody else in that bullpen's not good enough to protect the 6-run lead, then they shouldn't be around.
Yeah, that's right.
2 on, 2 out now for Felix P.A. Wood only went 1 last night, the new closer for the Cubs. New meaning in 2008. Here's P.A., who is 1 for 1. Strike 1. Bottom of the hour. Derby is over. Don't know who won. Joe Buck, Tim McCarver, Ken Rosenthal. Big Brown won, which was the selection of Pete Macheska, our producer on a more regular basis. Here's a line drive back to Reyes. Knocks it down, picks it up, gets the out. Pete not missed one bit here today in St. Louis. Bottom of the 9th here at Busch Stadium. Cardinals bat down 6.
Hey, fellas, check this out. First time I saw her, she set my world. You know, she set my world to reeling. And as the years go by for this country guy, well, we never lost the feeling. With this Billy Goat, I played my last note. I can't wait. I can't wait to get home. Viva Viagra.
Talk to your doctor about Viagra, America's most prescribed treatment for erectile dysfunction. Learn more at Viagra.com.
Viva Viagra.
Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Don't take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease in vision or hearing.
Viva Viagra.
Hey, Hot Rod. You need some help with that?
Yeah.
Night, baby.
Night, Dad. I hear you.
Corn, corn oil, salt, country stars, Fritos. So good, so simple.
All right, it's almost midnight in Hackensack, New Jersey, and I'm on E-Trade looking to diversify. Check this out. Click. I just bought 200 shares of Shangdao Energy on the stock exchange in Hong Kong. I mean, how cool is that? Shangdao Energy in Hong Kong. That's China.
Hey, hey!
Trade stocks online in 6 global markets. There are 1,000 new accounts a day at E-Trade.
Should a man over 50 take the same multivitamin as a woman?
I don't think so.
One a day men's 50 plus advantage. The only complete multivitamin with support for prostate and heart health. Plus more ginkgo for memory and concentration. From One a Day.
So it is Marmol back out there, bottom of the 9th inning, and Gloss first up for St. Louis. 9-3 the Cubs. Trying to split the first 2 games of this series with game 3 tomorrow night. Gloss hitting .241. Takes a strike over the outside corner. Marmol had a quick and easy 8th, but he's back out there for the 9th. Ankiel and Molina. The next 2 hitters, a 6-run Cub lead. And Marmol trying to overthrow that pitch, 1-1. Cubs beat the Cardinals last year 11 of 16 games. Strike 2 on Gloss. Troy today is fly to center, struck out, popped up. And he pops up again. In the sunshine, it will be Lee or Fontenot. And it's Lee in fair territory. That was no easy play. 1 out. Now Rick Ankiel right at the top of the hour. Coming up from Richmond. Richmond International Speedway. Sprint Cup Series racing in high definition right here on Fox. Jimmy Johnson, the winner there last year, as Ankiel is hit by the pitch. And that gets a reaction by the crowd, if not Ankiel. 1 on, 1 out. And he hit him with a breaking ball that just kept on running. Now Chris Duncan will come off the bench and bat for Yadier Molina, with Barton in the next spot. Duncan goes after the first pitch, pops it up behind short. Terrio's done a lot of that today. 2 out. Cardinals down to their final out. Our Chevrolet player of the game is Ted Lilly. He gave the Cubs what they needed after a short start last night by Rich Hill. He goes 7 here today. And not only did he do it with his arm, he did it with his bat. Second career extra base hit. Chevrolet is proud to recognize today's best and tomorrow's future, supporting youth baseball nationwide. Chevy, an American Revolution. Here is Barton, walked in his only other plate appearance, takes a ball here. Crowd has been thinning out over the last couple of innings, and they'll be loose on the streets of downtown St. Louis. A 1-0. Good fastball from Marmol. 1-1.
Cubs and Cardinals, of course, a wonderful rivalry, and for the most part a civil rivalry. You have occasional flare-ups, but for the most part the fans very respectful of one another.
Here's a 1-1. Strike 2. Barton trying to prolong this and bring his tourist to the plate. Cubs, for the most part, since a 6-run 4th inning, have been in charge. And that is not strike 3. Crowd reacts as Barton went right to the edge and pulled his bat back. It's 2-2. Pretty good rip by the rookie. Still 2-2. Broken back, ground ball to short. Terrio flips, and the Cubs win it 9-3. Last night it took 11 innings. Cardinals won. Today, 2 big frames, a 3-run 7th after a 6-run 4th. And now for Ken Rosenthal and Tim McCarver, I'm Joe Buck. So long from St. Louis. Our producer Carol Langley McDermott, our director Jim Lynch. We all say, here you go, Jeannie. It's all yours.
Well, I'm sharing it with some friends. And next, NASCAR on Fox, coming right at you from Richmond, where last year Jimmy Johnson held off Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin to take home the checkered flag as Chevrolets finished in each of the top 4 spots. What is going to happen this year, only Eric Karros knows. Tune in to Sprint Cup Series racing from the Richmond International Speedway tonight, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. That's coming at you next, so just sit tight. And at some point, we'll get to your picks, since you nailed that Jimmy Johnson pick a few weeks back.
I'm one pick a year, that's it.
You're a one-pick wonder.
Hey, I announced my retirement after picking Jimmy Johnson in the Phoenix race.
You and Julio Franco, by the way, announcing his retirement today as well. But as we watch the Cards and the Cubs, maybe you wondered why the Cubs were finding the success that they were and seeing them near the top of almost every single offensive category in the league. They were putting on a show today, guys.
Well, Kosuke Fukudome put on a hitting clinic. You see him driving this ball off the wall. Everybody excited. He's getting in there for a double, and he's just beginning.
Yeah, Fontenot gets a start today, and he takes Kyle Loesch, who we talked about in the pregame show, how well he's doing. Not today. That would be a home run right there, number 2 for him.
Also doing very well, Albert Pujols.
Well, he's been the St. Louis offense here. He absolutely crushes the ball, gets a run back on the board. But look at that man, Soriano brought his glove bat, but most importantly, he brought his bat back to the lineup. He's been swinging it like he hasn't missed a day.
And for the Cubs, an all-important 9-3 victory over their much-hated rivals, the St. Louis Cardinals. But let's go back and talk about a little offense, guys.
Well, Kosuke Fukudome had a great day offensively. What's interesting, it's almost like he sets a pitcher up. You see him kind of back away like, oh, I don't like that pitch that low and in. So, hey, Kyle Loesch thinking, you know what, I'm going to throw that again. And that's where you talk about the intelligence of a hitter up at the plate. He knows that he's going to get that pitch. He's ready for it. And what does he do? He drives it off the wall, gets a double.
That's what he did in spring training, too. I think he set pitches up. Yeah. Here's Soto, my preseason Rookie of the Year pick, so I have to mention it. Giovanni Soto doing a great job. I mean, offensively, we saw what he did when he came up last year, and he does a good job behind the plate as well.
All right, speaking of doing a good job, the Arizona Diamondbacks, although the Mets seem to beat him up a little bit, but how about Augie Ojeda having a day?
Well, he's getting that start. Yeah, he's getting that start today because Orlando Hudson out and drives in 2 right there. And here, look at this, Kev. What's he doing up there at the plate?
Inside right there, driving it down the right field line. Well, he gets a start. Like I said, Hudson got a little twinge last night of the hammy. He gets a start and makes the most of it.
4 RBI at that point. But wait, there's more. Tell me if you recognize this guy.
He's not done. He's not.
No, and he gets that fastball, that sinker right over the middle of the plate. And Kev, right before that, he had just hit one foul, got that one fair, and pulled the Mets within 1.
Home run number 4 on the season. Not worried about a curtain call for this one because he's away from home. So everybody's still happy, and so is Brandon Webb.
Yeah, Brandon Webb has the nasty sinker. Gets out of the first inning because of that ground ball right here, the 5-4-3 double play. They turn it around the infield. Second inning, couple men on, a run already in. Gets out of it himself again with the ground ball up the middle. Stephen Drew, the flip to second base right there, Ojeda for the double play. Then there's just a 2-seamer right there. Again, 88 miles an hour, a punch out. Another one off the end of the bat. 86 miles an hour, but he did make the one mistake you just saw a moment ago, and that was Carlos Delgado, and that would really end his day after 6 innings.
Pittsburgh Pirates, Washington Nationals. Little throwback day and a little throw to the temple of Xavier Nady. He's going to stay in the game. What'd you say, Kev? Just a flesh wound?
Just a flesh wound. He's in there. Yeah.
A flesh wound when it happens to somebody else.
Yeah, no joke. Christian Guzman, though, taking all prisoners, had a career day.
No, he's going to want to wear that uniform tomorrow, too, as well. He's really swinging the bat well. Gets another one there, doubles.
Yeah, tied a career high with 6 RBI, including that tie-breaking 3-run double there. 4 for 5, scored 2 runs for the Nationals, who won 5 of 6. That 4-run 6th inning, the difference for the Nationals. As we check back to the Cardinals and the Cubs, I'm just going back to the beginning of the day when we were discussing what was going on with the Cubs.
Oh, I thought we were going to do Cardinals.
Well, no, I wanted to give Kevin an opportunity. He decided to skip topics.
He did.
Because of a bad Friday night for the Cubs.
Impressive guy for me is Carlos Marmol. And I know the guys are talking about why is he in there right now. Well, he didn't pitch last night. And I understand what Lou Piniella's doing. They're playing the Cardinals right now. They got to win a game and get back into first place if they can. They didn't use him last night in that extra inning game. They did use Kerry Wood in a non-safe situation at game 1 extras, and they lost it on a home run by Schumacher. So I understand what Lou's thinking about. I'm going to get it to Marmol anyway if men get on base, so I'm definitely not going to use anybody else in the 9th inning. And the guy is lights out. He's going to close at some point this season.
And for clarification, you're not talking about the middle relief. You're talking about the final 9 outs that the Cubs have dialed in.
Final 9 outs. I mean, Kerry Wood's done a pretty good job. He did blow one on Thursday. Marmol was lights out in the game on Thursday. I mean, he was unbelievable for 4. I had 4 strikeouts when he came in for Zambrano. So, you know, if they can go 7, and the Cubs have been, you know, doing a pretty good job. Lily, this is a big start for him today, you know, to get some innings out of him. But normally, I mean, if you can go 7, you get the ball to Marmol or Kerry Wood, you're looking pretty good if you're the Cubs.
Yeah, well, how about their offense, though? I mean, they're leading. They went in today leading the major leagues in hitting and in runs, and this is without Alfonso Soriano. They bring him back into the mix. That pitching only has to be decent because offensively, they're as good as anybody in baseball.
And speaking of that offense, we have Ken Rosenthal. I don't know how he swings the bat, but I know Mike Fontenot had a hot one today. Let's hear from the boys from Busch.
We're here with Mike Fontenot. Mike, your 3-run homer made it 6-0. Obviously, you don't hit a lot of home runs. What was your approach against Loesch in that situation?
I was just trying to get a pitch. You know, I've been trying to get some pitches to hit the other way. You know, work the count a little bit, and he left a fastball, you know, over the middle of the plate.
Your bullpen got chewed up last night. How important was it today for Lily to go out and pitch the 7 innings that he did?
Oh, it's always important. You know, he pitched a great game today. You know, our bullpen last night had to, you know, get a lot of innings in, but you know, Lily did a great job coming out today and, you know, getting those innings for us.
You came over in the Sammy Sosa trade. You're the last player left with the Cubs from that deal. What has it been like for you playing for this franchise, which of course is trying to win its first World Series since 1908?
Oh, it's been great. You know, a lot of good guys on the team. I was pretty happy when I got a chance to come over here, you know, with all the history and everything. So, you know, we're just trying to kill that 100-year curse thing this year.
Mike, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Back to you.
Mr. Rosenthal, thank you very much. He loves those mano-a-mano, especially when we can go eye-to-eye with the guys.
Eye-to-eye? I think he was looking down at him, wasn't he?
I think so. But we won't be looking down at the Cubs for the rest of the season. No, they for real?
No, they're absolutely for real, especially with what they've done offensively in that division as well. As we talked about, offensively, they are being patient this year. Everybody's contributing. We talked a little bit about Giovanni Soto, who really is unheralded, probably the best offensive catcher, with all due respect to Russell Martin of the Los Angeles Dodgers in the National League right now. Gets on base, makes things happen, and turns the lineup over as well.
Yeah, you know, and Lou Piniella's not afraid to make a move quickly. Rich Hill, as we talked about in the breaks here, watching the games today.
Sent down to AAA today, yes.
Yeah, and I know I talked to Lou last year about him in spring training a year ago when he first saw him. He loved the guy. But just because he loves him doesn't mean you're going to be in there. You got to do the job. So he gets sent down. Marshall comes up. They're going to make changes. But I as well, I picked him to not only to win, I picked him to go to the World Series and win it. That's what I said.
So
that's what he picked. He's picking it again after a win today.
After a win, I got to go with the Cubs.
You're in a safe spot.
This morning it was the Cardinals.
You're in a safe spot, and so are you. And NASCAR's in your future. We're going to break it down for you. You want to hang out, see the race, and also figure out who to pick. We'll see if we can shake down a pick for Mr. Karros. And an explosive day on the field at Yankee Stadium in the clubhouse. Back with AL Scores.
NASCAR shines under the lights at Richmond. Jimmy Johnson looks to make it 3 in a row at America's premier short track. But Kyle Busch and Dale Earnhardt Jr. battle for their spot in victory lane. The Sprint Cup Series continues live from Richmond, next in HD, only on Fox.
Fox tomorrow. All new animation domination has taken over.
This is an outrage!
Relax, Homer. Everyone's still going to see your new Simpsons movie.
I want you to play Homer Simpson.
Why, because I'm fat?
Then after King of the Hill, are you ready for Family Guy?
Shoot it again! What? I said shoot it again, but I said it pirate-like.
Followed by American Dad. All new animation domination invades at 7, 6 Central tomorrow on Fox.
Saturday night short track race. Richmond will be packed, and many say it's one of the raciest tracks on the circuit.
Some of the best fights I've ever seen. Saturday night at a racetrack. Drivers and crew chiefs are going to get a little bit on pins and needles. This is exciting, man.
Y'all fought the wall, and the wall won.
Well, boys, let's just sit back and see what happens.
That is coming up next on Fox. Just whetting your appetite there. Two of Virginia's favorites will be on display tonight. So will three of our favorites. Chris Myers, Jeff Hammonds, and Darrell Waltrip.
Gee, thank you very much. People hustling in 33rd consecutive sellout for Richmond International Raceway. More than 112,000 fans to see 43 of the best drivers in the world race around this short track. Along with Darrell Waltrip, Jeff Hammond, Chris Myers, thanks for being with us. And it's all about Dale Earnhardt Jr., who has been in the top 10 7 times, more than any driver this year. But it's been a long time, Darrell, 2 years since he's won a race.
But I have good news.
What's that?
The last time he won was here.
Okay.
So that's a good thing for him. He's third in the point standings. And, he switched teams because he didn't feel like he could win where he was. I said he'd win 6 races. I'm standing by it.
How about the pole sitter?
Pretty impressive.
Denny Hamlin has already had a great weekend, right? He's a Virginia guy, grew up not too far from this track. He'll be on stage tonight.
Yeah, 15 miles away from this racetrack. Already won race last night as far as the Nationwide Series race is concerned. But the key thing is starting on the pole tonight, he's been very close before, finished second, finished third. He feels like this is the night. And on top of that, he believes that Richmond, Virginia happens to be his Indianapolis.
Denny Hamlin, one of 3 drivers from the state. Jeff Burton, one of the others. Elliott Sadler, of course, Jeff, the points leader. And a quick hot tempers, we might see some of those.
Oh, absolutely.
It's Saturday night at the fights. A race might even break out.
And he's just talking about these two. We hope you join us. Let's go back to Jeannie from Richmond. We'll see you NASCAR on Fox at 7 Eastern.
We can't wait. Coming at you shortly, gentlemen, as we come back inside the Fox Network Center. I watched you take some notes here. Are you standing on your pick? You're just done for the UP?
Did John Elway retire after he won the Super Bowl?
I think but he played a few more than just one.
No,
he didn't just play the Super Bowl.
I'm retiring. I told you. I'm going to let somebody else get some glory up here.
I'll tell you who he's going to pick. Denny Hamlin. He lives 20 minutes outside of Richmond. That's who you're going to pick. That's how you like to do it. I'm going with Kevin Harvick. I'm going with the Kevin. I like this guy's cocky confidence about him. I think he gets the edge. He's going to push people out of the way tonight. I'm going with Harvick.
You know what? I want to see something happen for Dale Earnhardt Jr. So that's how I'm going with him. He's had success at that track, so it is time.
Wait, are you rooting for him, or you think he's going to win?
That was my pick.
Well, plus,
that's what I'm picking. You have nothing to say here, so just back away from the desk.
Junior, he'll leave his teammates out to dry, too. He'll hang them out to dry. He'll leave them in the dust.
Oh, my. All right, we're not going to
we love Junior. Come on.
We plan to not leave you in the dust either. If you hang around, we promise there will be NASCAR in your future. Maybe we'll shake something out of Mr. Karros here, as well as scores from around the American League. Stay tuned.
Fox Monday. 2 of your favorite shows are back together and all new. First, Brennan's father is on trial for murder.
I know you love me.
And it all ends with a surprise.
I am not saying anything.
No one saw coming.
Angela, please.
All new Bones. Then, House's favorite soap star is dying, and House will do anything.
You kidnapped him?
To save him.
What are you doing? He needs an MRI.
All new House. It all starts Monday at 8, 7 Central on Fox.
NASCAR shines under the lights at Richmond. Jimmy Johnson looks to make it 3 in a row and America's premier short track. But Kyle Busch and Dale Earnhardt Jr. battle for their spot in victory lane. The Sprint Cup Series continues live from Richmond, next in HD, only on Fox.
Fox Tuesday on American Idol. It's down to the final 4 contestants. David Cook.
It's the best feeling ever.
Saisha Mercado.
This is what I was destined to do.
Jason Castro.
I've waited my whole life for this.
David Archuleta.
I'm living my dream.
And your vote means more than ever.
Don't let your favorite down.
American Idol. Then celebrate the Sweet 16 bash from Hell's Kitchen.
The Halibut's dry. Her birthday.
Wake up. Hell's Kitchen. All new. It all starts at 8, 7 Central Tuesday on Fox.
America's Grand Game is on Fox. Derek Jeter leads the Bronx Bombers into the Motor City to battle Nagli Ordonez and the Tigers. Derek Lee powers the surging Cubs against Eric Burns and the Diamondbacks. Or Albert Pujols and the Cardinals take on Prince Fielder and the Brewers. Next
next week on Fox Saturday Baseball. Check local listings for the game in your area.
Wishes can come true. Daniel met the LA Angels with his cousin Sammy, right?
Make-A-Wish Foundation grants a wish every 40 minutes.
To children with life-threatening medical conditions.
I wanted to go to Wrigley Field.
Fox Sports Supports invites you to join our team and support Make-A-Wish Foundation.
There are lots of ways to help, from making a donation to volunteering.
Together, we can bring joy and magic to children who really need both.
Make a wish. Please go to wish.org.
Coming your way next on Fox, it is NASCAR from Richmond. Saturday night racing under the lights. Remember last year, Jimmy Johnson holding off Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin to take home the checkered flag. Tune in to Sprint Cup racing from the Richmond International Speedway that is coming your way in high definition next on Fox. A great Saturday full of sports here at Fox Sports that started with a little bit of baseball in Anaheim. Two of the best clubs in the American League. Yes, the Orioles and the Angels.
And the Angel, Reggie Willett's getting an opportunity to DH, gets a base hit here. Ended up going 2 for 3, and the DH position has been non-existent this year for the Angels.
Speaking of non-existent.
Yeah, Garrett Anderson goes down looking a little bit on the inside corner. He didn't say anything, but flipping the bat that high, Eric, you're going to get it run, and he did.
Well, I mean, again, it's not anything that's that bad, but Sosha coming out trying to protect his player. Now, look at this. Sean Figgins coming in, and with the infield in, shows his speed, plays the Angel way of baseball, gets in there, scores, and what do they end up doing?
Contact play right there.
A little bit of tug there on that right hamstring for Figgins. They're checking that out. So if we find something out before we get off there, we'll keep you posted. But hard not to pay attention to John Garland today. Pitched a 3-hit ball for 8 innings. Solid effort. It's what the Angels were looking for when they brought him over.
His best start since his first one for the Angels when he pitched in Minnesota. Did a great job. Garland's the guy that has to throw that sinker, get the ball down. The Angels have a great defense behind him. This was a 4-seamer up in the zone right there for a punch-out. A little movement, a little jam shot right there. Great play by Figgins for the 4-6-3 double play. Here's Huff on a pop-up. That's a little breaking ball right there. That would be in the 4th inning. And Luke Scott right here. Another one. There's the sinker. There's the 2-seamer, 3-2 count. And he goes 8 strong innings today. He gives up 3 hits and just 1 run, and he gets the win. And, of course, Frankie Rodriguez would save it.
All right, gentlemen, Yankees co-chairman Hank Steinbrenner saying he's disappointed with the way the season has gone. He makes that shout-out on a Friday night. So what would happen on Saturday? Everybody picked up their bats versus Seattle. That's Derek Jeter.
Well, we talked about with Alex Rodriguez and Jorge Posada being out, who is going to step up? And the rest of that Yankee offense, you see Derek Jeter and then Hideki Matsui just sticking his bat out, a great at-bat. Look at that throw. Where are we throwing that, Ro? Just holding on to the ball, ends up throwing it to left field.
That's when the manager has a tirade like John McLaren did after the game today.
As a matter of fact, he did. It could be heard all throughout the ballpark.
Well, how about the day this young man had? Young man, I don't know if he's a young man, but Johnny Damon playing like a young man, going deep into the upper tank.
Had the home run 4th on the season. He doubled twice, including his 400th career double. All right, the White Sox, the Blue Jays. Ozzie Guillen going to drum up some offense. Would it work?
Well, I don't know. Was he drumming it up for the Toronto Blue Jays?
Maybe that was the problem.
That's Scutaro right there.
Marco Scutaro, he of the famed Oakland Athletics, had a number of big hits over the past few years. And then this man right here, Vernon Wells, really the core of the franchise right now, Octavio Dotel.
Boy, Chicago scored only 6 runs in the past 4 games, 235. They have the lowest team batting average in the American League. Ozzie Guillen saying all of a sudden in 1 week we forgot how to hit, how to catch the ball, how to run the bases, how to pitch. That's all.
Well, that's all. But look at that AL Central now. I mean, remember we were talking at the beginning of the year, Detroit, they're out of it, they're gone. And now we're right back in there. Everybody's kind of right around the same spot.
And Toronto's pitching, by the way, number 2 in the American League in ERA.
All right, for Kevin Kennedy, Eric Karros, I'm Jeannie Zalasko. NASCAR coming your way next on Fox.
Promotional consideration paid for by